Brownie, the Streakers segment, we're starting to get on a bit of a roll here. We're going all right.
The premise of it is you start with $100 and then it rolls every week. So you invest all your winnings every week and we're on a roll at the moment.
All right, well, let's take a look at how you went last week.
The kitty is up to 122. All of that 122 this week goes on James Sicily at 17 plus disposals.
Stand! Sicily, a good mark. Sicily goes inside 50 with a beautiful ball. Back to Durham. That's too easy.
All right, so we're looking the goods, 146.40 in the bank. You've gone with two pretty big names the last couple of weeks, Brownie, so I'm just getting a little bit nervous looking at the
nothing
name
like
page.
me anyway. But rolling it in, and the rules are it's a minimum $1.20. Dylan Stevens is my best bet across the whole round at 21 touches this week, so all I'm asking for Dylan is 16. I think he's arrived. I think he's figured out how to play football. It'll take him a long time to figure out how to play football. But at 16 plus, $1.25, happy with my Streakers bet because it's going to keep rolling, and then it'll be my shout at the end of the year.
Are you nervous?
No, Dylan, I'm backing Dylan.
Should he be?
Geez, absolutely. I don't know.
I think he
would
should.
be a little bit nervy on that.
On the wing against West
I think he
Coast.
will get there.
We haven't Australians
seen
to
this
Dylan
guy
Stevens.
do it multiple weeks. So
Come on,
we'll
Dylan.
tune in at 6 o'clock with some nerves and excitement.
All righty, Luke Parker, the defender, boys. Luke Parker, the defender.
Yeah, and I was surprised to see this move last Sunday, but it sort of reminds me a little bit of what Jack Zeeble did towards the end of his career when he went behind the footy, and to use your term, Brownie, he took a fair few of the kickouts as well on the weekend. And I think if he's going to be playing this role, he's going to be pretty consistent with around that 23, 24 disposal mark, and just to be able to guide that back group there for North Melbourne. So there's someone to just keep an eye on, moving forward with North.
All right, well, the producers have drawn up a same-game multi off all of
From
our
our bets.
thoughts. They've tried to combine everything. Rosie, 25 plus. Butters, 25 plus. So bang, bang, the mids go mad there. Merritt, well, he had a heap of it on the outside last week. And Parker, 20 plus.
Nice.
What do we think? Getting on?
Feedback either way.
All right.
Producers have done well.
Hopefully we can land it. We'll be back next week on In the Back Pocket.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Your Sunday ticket of footy kicks off on the Gold Coast with VFL action. The Gold Coast Suns and Werribee. Both these teams met at a grand final back in 2023. They both missed finals last season. Looking to make inroads into the new campaign here in round one. Joel Peterson, Brad Johnson, Dyson Heppel and Tom Rockcliffe with you. A couple of big names in this Gold Coast team. Of course, Jamara Ugle-Hagan, Jed Walter. But the best and fairest from last season, Ned Moyle, John, will have a big impact.
He will. We know how important centre bounce has become, how fast footy is, and it's a huge role for Ned Moyle. 13 AFL games. The understudy to Jared Witt, so important that he plays well and plays well early in this game to get Gold Coast going, because at some point he's going to have to step back up into AFL footy and will want to be in fine form when he does it.
And Dice, Dom Brew for Werribee, he is an absolute star of the competition.
Yeah, no doubt. Look, Dom's been a stalwart at the VFL comp for over 10 years now. He's a 3-time best and fairest winner, captain of the Vic side last year. He's a prolific ball winner, strong inside bull, gets himself forward and kicks goals. So he'll be in for a big day, I would have thought, Dom.
He's going to be fun to watch throughout the course of the competition. Let's get in boundary side, welcoming the final member of our team, and say a very good morning to Tom Rockcliffe.
Yes, good morning. Perfect conditions down here at ground level. A little bit of wind around, maybe some scattered showers. It's those days that you sort of lock yourself in for 40 though. So Jepson for the Suns is on watch, and Dom Brew as well for the Werribee.
I reckon if you're Tom, you probably just bump that up a few, 45 or 50 in these kind of conditions. There is Jamara Ugle-Hagan. He'll be a big watch this morning.
Yeah, he will be. He's got the strapping on the knee. Looked a little bit proppy in warm-up, so we'll see how much work he does up the ground, which I think is important for his own football, and he does play well when he does get a little bit higher. So we'll see how his fitness is throughout the day.
Of course, a spotter to the beckoning for the Gold Coast Suns. Christian Petrarca's hamstring injury yesterday. Yes. It's opened the door for a few. So the opportunity beckons as Werribee and the Gold Coast Suns kick off their VFL seasons. Holman straight into the action for Gold Coast. Plenty of experience that he brings to the table. Plenty of physicality as well.
Peroxide in the hair, doing plenty.
Yes, it's an interesting choice for Nick Holman. Trying to force his way through there on Werribee debut. Sam Donegan gets the opening clearance of the game. Kick up toward half forward. Lockie Charlson tries to track it down. Ever intriguing is Avery Thomas, who really throws himself at the footy. Pinnett kicks inside forward 50 for Werribee. Trapped well by Holman, gave it to Jepson, who's grabbed immediately.
Yeah, it's good forward pressure from Werribee. Looked like Gold Coast were going to be able to exit quite easily on that occasion. Just numbers around.
Sam Donegan sticking the tackle. His first game in the big W after crossing from the Northern Bull Ants. Kobe Colson, one of their academy players for the Suns, his last up. Donegan frees his hands. Across the 50. Opportunity now through Dalhouse. Kicks to full forward. They had all the representation there, the Suns, and they kill it.
On the shape off the line from Werribee, trying to change angles and get a clearer look. So early start for them and plenty of forward time at the moment.
5-4 at home last season. The Suns 7-1-10 overall. Werribee 7-11. The Premiers back in 2024. They lost an absolute stack of talent out of that side. Holman got caught with it. Riding, laid the tackle. Not rewarded.
Yeah, not rewarded. He dragged it back into Holman. So was lucky to get away with that one. He's busy at the moment, though. He's in the action for Gold Coast.
Just as you'd expect. Moyle just absolutely wound up and tried to slam it out of there with a big left hand. Holman comes over the top of Lazaro and gives away a free kick. Just on the Werribee front, they have had a late change in this game, so Emerson Jekin not out there was named during the week. And Nick Newton, who was only signed this week for Werribee, comes in for his first game in the number 49. Lazaro's left foot kick to the top of the square. Riding took it off hands. Little handball around the body there. Razzo's a goal sneak. Dalhouse got tripped up, but Razzo couldn't keep it in play.
Good pressure from Werribee early, Dyson. They've got plenty of numbers around the fall of ball.
No doubt. No, setting the ground up really well, allowing them to put a lot of pressure on the ball as well.
Saw yesterday with Southport that they came out flat against Richmond in their first game of the season. Around the body from Riding, crashing through was Dalhouse trying to make something happen. Jepson, Holman, and that's fumbled away from Dylan Patterson.
Yeah, first opportunity to clear there. Gold Coast at least get the ball to centre wing and give the forwards their first opportunity to have a look in this game. We know how strong they are up there with Walter and Ugle-Hagan.
Dylan Patterson, the 5th pick of the draft last season. Plenty of eyes on him throughout the campaign. Free kick in the ruck here. He's going to go to Will Elliott on debut for Werribee. Had his dad, Matt, in the rooms pre-game. Of course, talented sporting family. Brother Sam, a very handy cricketer. Werribee debutants were presented their jumpers by Big Ben Hudson.
Oh, I love that.
People's beard.
Oh, the Rock. Yeah, what a man. He's an awesome teammate, Benny Hudson.
So Will Elliott kicked 13 last year for the Bull Ants from just outside the 50. Sends it on its way, won't have the trip, and it's smashed through by Moyle. Done all the attacking here, Dice. Have the Bees. It's been a very promising start.
Yeah, they've been busy. Gold Coast battling to get it cleared from D50 here. First little look, see how we go here.
Wide confines of People First Stadium. Turnover, it'll come back in, and they've got flyers everywhere here. Can't come away with it. Here's Patterson with a chance to work himself free off half-back, kicks it straight to big AJ Qualman, who was standing in the road. He's going to do some fun things for Werribee this season. Callett spins, kicks inside forward 50. Dalhouse trying to climb over the top of the pack. Holman's handball, now a turnover. Lazaro had his kick smothered, spills to Charlson. Crafty ball with hand, but can't get that one on the requisite angle.
I was talking to Peter Street during the week about Qualman and just how he's an absolute freak athletically, and that was witness right there.
No doubt, yeah, the big fella. Plenty of athleticism. Spent a bit of time with him at Port Melbourne last year, and terrific character too.
He would have been fun to play with, Dice.
No doubt, absolutely loved playing with AJ. Yeah, sitting at the fall of his feet and rolling past for handballs whenever he marked it.
A couple of ex-Borough boys out there for Werribee today. Here's Ugle-Hagan, had that one dropped to him up at left half forward. Gets on the left peg and delivers an absolute bullet. What a kick that is from Jamara to Lockie Cramp.
Awesome response from Ned Moyle on centre wing. Big contested mark. And then the kick to Jamara Ugle-Hagan was just perfect.
It's a beautiful ball, that, isn't it? He's put it to a dangerous spot and he's absolutely laced it out.
Lockie Cramp played the 9 games last year, the 18-year-old. He kicked 0 goals, 5 from his 9 appearances. He's got a chance to get the first of this new season. Werribee had their opportunities at the other end, and unfortunately for Cramp, that form from last season in front of the sticks has carried over.
Would have been the perfect passage of play from Gold Coast. All Werribee have been in control of the game early on. They got some free run, and it just goes to show how classy they can be when getting the ball effectively forward of centre.
Big Ryan Ayres has it in defence. Ungainly kick, and now the turnover coming out. Pinnock kicked it straight to Holman, sends it back to full forward, across the front of the pack. Ugle-Hagan can't take the grab. Farah tried to flip it up. Here's Patterson, showcasing his evasiveness, at least trying to. He got caught by Callett. Have a couple of father-son players out there, and Callett's tried to kick a goal for the opposition there.
Kick that one. Unfortunately, you can see what he was trying to do in getting the ball back deep and then get out the open side of the ground.
That's a strange start to your season with one of your first disposals. Is almost kick it 50 metres backward the other way and just roll one through. Here's Brew at half-back for Werribee. Tullio. Now out to Riding, important player for this Werribee squad. Kicks up the line. Just carried the pack. Dalhouse was waiting for it at the back. Suns had the numbers there. Cooper Bell picked it up. They come back the other way here, the Suns. Farah marks up just forward of the wing. Knocks his kick over the top. Ugle-Hagan can't mark. Collects it out at right half forward. Spears it into the pocket. It'll ricochet back to Jamara on the edge of the 50. Tries the fend off. He did get through the tackle, kicked it straight into Brew, and Jamara had to go hurdling to try and get back at the football. Brew's kick outside the arc was helped on its way by Clark.
They are stacked in the forward line, aren't they, when you look at the AFL experience from a Gold Coast point of view. Farah there on screen. It's had a good start. Jamara Ugle-Hagan, 3 or 4 touches to start this game as well.
No doubt. It's not going to take him much to get going on the scoreboard, and you can see him playing quite assertive in defence too, so trying to punish him on the counter-attack.
Elliott got absolutely dumped by Moyle in the tackle.
That's a good point, Dyson. They get with more ball in their forward half, the defenders can really push up and compress the ground and make it difficult for Werribee to exit.
Moyle turned it over to Lazaro. Brew. They can build here. Has his kick into the middle. Oh, it's picked off. It's done really well in the end by Tommy Bennett. He read it nicely and delivered neatly inside the forward 50. Mark taken by Lockie Goulburn. Had a contract at the end of the season, made his AFL debut in the last round of the second to last round of the home and away season last year. 9 minutes in and he's already sucking in the big ones.
Round 1 usually does that. They're blowing up pretty early.
Especially in the sun when it's 25, 26 degrees on the Gold Coast, even for the locals. that can be taxing. Goulburn from 51. Nice looking kick. Great looking kick.
Great strike.
Yeah, beautiful finish here from Goulburn, but it's more what you're talking about. It's the turnover in the middle of the ground, Dyson, where they're able then to be out on flow back in. Walter coming up at the footy. Goulburn going back with the flight. Nice mark, nice finish.
No doubt. No, they've managed to pinch a couple off with Werribee trying to come back through the middle a couple of times. So setting the ground up really well and managed to punish him that time.
13 goals from his 15 games last year. Lockie Goulburn. See him starting brightly. For all Werribee's dominance in those first 5 minutes, Jono, they end up a goal down.
Yeah, they just settled a little bit now. Gold Coast in around the footy. They got better shape around the contest. Ned Moores had a couple of really nice contests against his direct opponent, which has assisted as well.
Jepson and Basuta will be a matchup to keep an eye on in the middle of the ground. Strong tackle there by Tom Simpson on debut, the Canberra product. Playing his first game in VFL footy this afternoon after spending the last couple of years with the Belconnen Magpies in the nation's capital. Good tackle there from Donegan. Simpson got the kick away. There was a free kick before that. Coming back to Werribee. It'll be Jordan Basuta, who spent last year with Essendon, to take it. Of course, new coach at Werribee this season, Dan Lowther, formerly in charge of the Geelong Cats AFLW program. Took them to a prelim final a couple of seasons ago. Nervous moment there for Riding. Almost spent it before he had it. Eventually he delivers neatly to Clark, the captain. Now to Pinnock, who was so pivotal in the win for the Big V last year against the SA rep team. Kicks inside the 50. Klashevsky couldn't hold on to it. Opportunity in the pocket there for Brady Wright. Tried to roll it back toward goal. Nervous moment inside the goal square. And it's socket off the ground. Tullio got a boot to it. He gets the first for Werribee.
Yeah, it's funny. Got a bit sketchy with the ball in hand and didn't want to rush it. Forced a great bit of forward pressure from Werribee and managed to get an opportunistic goal here. Fantastic.
Yeah, just a little toe on the end. It looked like Gold Coast were going to be able to rush that one through in the end. But you're right, didn't take the opportunity early to exit and get just a deep ball out. Dyson here, they put themselves under their own pressure here, Gold Coast. Just a tiny fumble. And then it was great pressure, good tackle, and toe poke. Love that from Tullio.
Turns 20 tomorrow, and that is an absolute present. That's an early gift for Noah.
Is. Very good. No, we love that. It's forward pressure's been outstanding, actually. So he's got his reward for effort there, forward pressure, and then gets himself a little toe poke snag.
2 goals, 1 last season from his 3 appearances. Still early in his journey with this Werribee team. There's big AJ Qualman, an imposing figure. Super, super athletic. He'll sit on a few heads throughout the course of the campaign, Dice.
No doubt, yes. He's sat on mine at training before, and that wasn't too fun.
See Dave Swallow there rolling out for the Suns. Alex Sexton, their captain this season in the VFL, so plenty of experience out there for the team in red. Here's a chance. Klashevsky around the body. Misses to the left-hand side. Able to just regather some momentum in this game. Patterson kicks into Goulburn. Now they can build it up. Jepson, running into a wall. Lockie Goulburn brought down. Terrific tackling pressure. And the Bees will come back the other way. There's a whistle right at the edge of the arc here. It'll be a Werribee ball.
That was Josh Callett with the big tackle. That was standing up and just holding on for dear life, but so good in regards to stopping what Gold Coast were putting together.
They're absolute team lifters, those ones, aren't they? Yeah.
Brady Wright's going to take the initiative here. Kicks away to the left. Has he got a fly in the pocket there? And it's a good mark taken defensively. Suns able to stand up in defence. Adams comes short. They can try and move it out of there. Avery Thomas kicks long to the wing. Werribee with good representation at ground level. Handball from Mace Cousins, played in a premiership with the Darley Devils at the back end of last season. They can build it up here through Smith, back to Cousins. Kicks to half forward. Riding did well to pull it in. He strides through the 50, eyes the sticks, puts it across the face. Opportunity for Dalhouse, reading the pack nicely, and then overcooked the kick.
He knows it too. Another opportunity lost by Werribee. Their kicking efficiency is down at the moment. Just over-kicking the footy.
See the discrepancy there on your screen. Jed Walter, the target of the kick there, couldn't hang on to it. Of course, got suspended in that pre-season game against the Brisbane Lions. So missed round one for the Suns and making his return through VFL footy.
Yeah, Werribee kicking it at 54% at the moment. Gold Coast at 67%.
Toss back in on the wing. Suns kick the first, Werribee the next. They dominated play in the first 5 minutes. The visitors, here's Jalen Pavlidis across half-back. Had a bit of footy with the Giants a few years ago. Werribee Districts Junior. Lazaro cut the kick infield, turned it over to Holman.
You can see again, Gold Coast setting the field up really well just to snip those counter-attacks, and they're coming back here again, giving them another look.
Ugle-Hagan had a few to beat. Follow-up work was good. Zach Evans able to free himself. Handball to Sexton. Handball inside the 50. Jepson, they are lining up at the moment. Thomas lays it off into the pocket. No mark for Farah. Swallow was there. Handball back to Farah. He's tackled by Newton. Umpire says mine.
Oh, thought there was an opportunity there for Newton to be rewarded with holding the ball. Farah tried to take him on.
Qual Munn and Big Max Noble just engage in the wrestle. Brew away to Khaled outside the defensive 50s. Turned that over. Thomas has taken the mark. Tasmanian had it right half forward. Tried to chisel his pass into the pocket, and he put it out of bounds on the full. A little bit of a rusty start from both of these teams by foot at times, as you expect at this early point of the season. Louis Callett rolls back into play. Long kick clears the pack. Now battle on for it in the middle. Dalhouse drew things to a stop. Asher Eastham, 2024 rookie, saw on screen. His third season at the club. Opportunity here for Jake Smith to pump it inside the arc, and a good defensive mark taken by Caleb Graham, who we last saw at AFL level at the back end of 2022. He signed a 4-year contract. He has not played an AFL game on that contract. This is the last year of it.
Oh, it's a big year.
He's been plying his trade in the VFL for quite some time. Adams kicks up the line. Noble tries to track it down, the big fella. Swooping in was Holman. Swallow hands it out wide. Kick to full forward. Chance for Ugle-Hagan. Worked himself into trouble. Got caught holding the ball.
Pressure again, been unbelievable. Werribee are on. I'll tell you what, on the other side of it, Nick Holman's been involved in everything at the moment. I think he's near up to 9 disposals now.
He has been, but you're right with Werribee's pressure. It's been very good. They've just got to pick up their skill level now to complement their ability to win the ball back and then not turn it over.
No doubt. You can see they're trying to get the ball out the other side because Gold Coast is setting up the field so well. Just can't seem to move the ball.
Dyson Heppel and Brad Johnson with you, VFL on Fox Footy as part of your Sunday ticket. Couple of games coming up this afternoon. Essendon, Port Adelaide, West Coast, North Melbourne. Don't have to adjust your set all day. A little bit of evasiveness there shown by Donegan. Oof. And then a bone-crunching tackle. That was lined up there for Zach Evans.
Good hit. Far out. He's ploughed that one in.
Jalen Pavlidis had nowhere to go. Qualman has the biggest fresh area you've ever seen in your life. Holman scoops it up, bangs it to full forward. Ugle-Hagan stayed down while Walter flew. As he in defence, Pavlidis neat on the exit. Lovely delivery to Lazaro.
That's better. This kick here, this is the one, though, that they just haven't used that well early in this game. Hit up there, but it's slow now. So Gold Coast have the opportunity now to set up the ground. They've been very good at that early in this game. So Werribee need to get themselves set here. Good run from behind.
Lazaro played his footy at Port Melbourne last year. Of course, spent a bit of time on AFL's North Melbourne list, playing 39 games there. Now they kick inside the forward 50 and they do get the opportunity. Here's Brady Wright. He can go back and have a shot.
Wasn't clean, Dyson, but at least they got it. They got the ball moving, got some flow into their footy, that forward momentum.
No doubt. Sometimes you just got to get a bit creative, and I don't mind them getting a bit of sing on the ball. Give them an opportunity here.
Wright had a long shot earlier in the term, trying to straighten up here. It's across the face and an easy kill.
I don't think a 40-metre kick off the ground is part of the plans, but it worked. And sometimes you take those risks as a player,
no doubt,
and they can pay off.
See, inside 50 count. Werribee had the first 5 of the game. It's been a much more even territory battle since then. Here's Patterson, who can showcase his speed. Ugle-Hagan up at half forward, drops the kick inside the 50. Walter tried to keep it alive, did well in the end, turns on goal. He can get it back here, Jed Walter. He'll stroll his way in, and Jed Walter's on the board.
It's a pretty nice combo, that. Ugle-Hagan down to Walter. A couple of athletic big fellas. Very nicely done there.
You can just see how much the players and the fatigue levels in the first game, first quarter, but out the back here from Gold Coast, they had good representation right around that contest, actually. And then Walter does some good work here one-on-one, and then's able to get the ball back nicely and then use his big frame to push into the goal square.
Yeah, Gold Coast, even that passage of play, being able to move the ball quickly from D50, just gave them a real open look in the forward line where Werribee haven't had the opportunity to get those open forward movement.
Big season for young Jed Walter, 20-year-olds. Had a contract at the end of the year, been a lot of talk about rival clubs coming for him. Kicked 4 goals in a pracky against Palm Beach Currumbin last week. 2 against the Lions in their pre-season game. So much talent from the former number 3 overall pick. Suns by 4. See their domination in the ruck contests thus far. Boyle able to control it down in the middle this time. These get the clearance. Charlson buffeted off it, then goes back in and throws himself at the footy, as you'd expect from Lockie Charlson. Pinnock with the tackle. That one will be rewarded. Patterson made no effort to get rid of it. That tackle count for Werribee's been a real feature.
Yeah, it has. 20-9. That's better. Back inside the corridor.
Cousins drops it off to a dangerous area. Callett wheels around, sends it to full forward. Qualman's there. Walking it in is Elliott. It fell right into his lap. And Will Elliott is on the board in the black and yellow.
I was all set up by the kick back into the corridor. Cousins has actually worked that lane really well throughout this first quarter. He's been missed a couple of times, but on that occasion, they were able to spot him up, uses it well to Callett, and he drives this one deep to full forward. Good contest, and then Elliott in the right place. See Moyle there just drifting off, no body whatsoever, and he was caught out.
Yeah, I like that ball. He sent it, not right to the goal line. He's given it an opportunity to still crumb off the spoil. So a good look there for Werribee. Great passage of play.
It was a decent spoil as well, so Elliott's done well to take that cleanly.
Caleb Braham, he put some velocity on it, and it was almost like a set play. He just turned around to Ned Moyle, put the hands up and said, "Nah, sorry, mate. Not what I intended."
Solomon again.
Holman's been very busy. 10 disposals thus far. Farah tried to force the door open at half forward. Pinnock's just been a little bit fumbly in the early going, which is uncharacteristic for him. Pavlidis to Cousins. Pavlidis had to play basketball with it, tried to dribble it to keep it alive. Riding smashes it to half forward. Patterson back with the flight, can't take it. Brilliantly done by Charlson. Flicks it forward to Dalhouse. And his kick goes begging. Graham was the only one back there for the Suns.
He's working hard, Dalhouse. He just had a couple of kicks that he'd like to fix up.
Transition has been swift from Gold Coast. And that is way too easy. Jed Walter standing all alone inside the 50.
Well, he just got himself in behind the fence. His actual pressure was very good about a minute ago. He used his speed to get up and put some pressure on. He's gone back behind defence, and their transition was too strong there, Gold Coast. And that's why Walter and Jamari Ugle-Hagan need to keep standing up. Ben Reed's killing them at senior level. Reed's kicked 4 yesterday as well. So the tall timber for the Gold Coast is on fire at the moment.
And they're well stocked in that department. More contributions from this man to press his case would help. That one across the face.
And they're the opportunities that he just has to grab. You don't get them much easier than that with the way the game's played, to be able to sit out the back and take an uncontested mark.
No doubt, and even just a real steadier for the team. They're sort of getting some nice flow forward of the ball and need to be able to capitalise.
Nick Newton unloads a bomb from half back. Donegan's been busy in these early stages. Farah. Tap forward to Patterson. Now Swallow, the veteran presence of Dave Swallow. Nifty work, Sexton. Over the top, they are lining up again here. Farah on the edge of the 50, cuts his kick in field. That was a neat bit of delivery as well. They'll get another opportunity here, will the Suns, this time Zach Evans.
That was strong by Gold Coast. There was plenty of pressure from Werribee. The physicality was there, but they were able to absorb it and work through by hand.
"14 games last season, 9 goals, 8 for Zach Evans. Here's a beautiful look at the assignment. It's one that he can't meet.
They've missed 3 easy set shots now, the Gold Coast Suns.
The early fatigue is really on show, but just need to be able to finish these opportunities.
It's the captain, Clark, in defence for Werribee. 2nd season as captain. 6th in their best and fairest last year. Neat kick in field. Jake Smith worked that beautifully under pressure.
50.
And 50.
Yeah, through the protected area after the mark was taken. So Werribee with an opportunity here off a poor miss by Gold Coast with a set shot to go coast to coast.
It's very costly indeed.
It's amazing with that assertive defence. If you can just break that one line, if they let it out the back, you get some forward flow and beautiful ball inside.
It was a good kick under pressure.
Will Klashevsky's got the opportunity. Out of the Yarraville Seddon Eagles, made his debut in round 17 last year. He was a train-on player, worked his way onto the main list. Got his opportunity late in the piece. He's back in the team early in this new season. And he'll have a kick after the siren. Werribee dominated early. The Suns missed some opportunities at the other end they should have taken. And so this could really sting. Klashevsky with the shot. He misses as well. So another one goes begging in this early stage. Both teams inaccurate in this opening term. It's a game being played at pace. And the Bees hold a 1-point lead at quarter time over the Suns. Sunday ticket, VFL Footy on Fox. it out of there. Quarter time on the Gold Coast. Sunday ticket, VFL Footy on Fox. Jamari Ugle-Hagan involved early. It was the Suns who got on the board first in this game. Werribee hit back through the toe poke of Noah Tullio. They lead by a point at quarter time, the Bees. 2-5-17 to the Suns, 2-4-16. Joel Peterson, Dyson Heppel and Brad Johnson with you on this Sunday. Big Sunday ahead on Fox. No need to adjust your set. Essendon, Port Adelaide, West Coast and North Melbourne still to come your way at AFL level. And, Jono, this has been an entertaining clash thus far.
Yeah, it has. Nick Holman's leading the way with 12 disposals. I like the first quarter of riding as well from Werribee. 10 touches. And you can just see the advantage of doing a pre-season with an AFL club. He was with the Hawks and he was able then to... You can see his first quarter's been outstanding. He's had some power run. He's played on at the right times and used the ball quite well.
No doubt. No, it's been a great little contest so far, and two distinctive styles of ball movement where Werribee's really tried to control the game through their foot skills, but have turned it over a couple of times, where Gold Coast have really just got on the counter-attack and managed to get some flow forward and get some real good looks forward.
Let's check in with the Gold Coast side of things. Tom Rockcliffe is with Tate Kaesler.
Yeah, down here with Tate, it took a little bit to fall into the way you wanted to play, but once you open them up a couple of times, how do you get those opportunities to open the ground up?
Yeah, look, it was a really high-pressured start, which we expected, so I think we just got to be a little bit better in composure in that part of the game, and then where we can do that, we can set the ground up really well, and we know we've got some dangerous forwards. We just got to be a little bit more calm going forward.
Good luck for the rest of the game.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Yeah, it's spot on, isn't it, that assessment in regards to the way they have moved the ball. When they've had those open looks, they look so strong forward of centre, but they've got to absorb Werribee's pressure, which was probably the highlight for their first quarter. They're able to win the ball back, turned it over at critical times, but ultimately their pressure is exactly where the coach would like it.
Yeah, both of those Werribee goals coming off turnover as well, so they were costly mistakes when they made them.
Yeah, the pressure's really kept them in this game. They've been elite all across the ground, particularly up forward. Their heat around the ball's been unbelievable.
There's Nick Holman. I'm not quite sure what he asked for when he went to the hairdresser, whether what he asked for was what he got, but it's distinctive.
It's working for him.
Perfectly suited to the Sunshine State. Donegan's made a really impressive start to this game for Werribee. Brew pumps them inside forward 50 straight away to get us going in the second term. Dalhouse applies his trademark pressure. Caleb Graham had nowhere to go. Rucks rush over to the contest. Oil got dragged down. He'll have another opportunity inside forward 50. As we said pre-game, the best and fairest for the Suns in the VFL last season. Sparing AFL opportunities. Holman provides a little bit of burst off half-back, so too Patterson. They chain it in field. Now the set-up kick to half-forward. Noble brought it down to Walter, who slips through the tackle, kicks inside the forward 50. Chance for Evans, taken by Pinnock. Evans drags him down. Got the handball away, Louis Pinnock. And now they can build up again here, Gold Coast. Holman received the handball from Colson. Jepson back to Holman. Now the kick off the standing start. It is a long bomb, and it is there. Asher Eastham with a beauty from range.
That's an unbelievable strike, that. Oh, right, he really assessed it and then just wound up and went bang. Well done.
They had good shape, didn't they, with their handballs. Holman involved 4 times in that entire passage. Hardest working player on the ground at the moment. He started the chain off half-back, run and bounce, created the overlap, and was excellent play, and then continued to push forward to get involved. Once they had an opportunity, Gold Coast, they just missed it inside forward 50 with another kick, and then had to go to work and absorb some more pressure here that Werribee were putting on. And there's Holman again. Gets involved a couple of times here. Good shape, good hands, quick, sharp. Final release, good finish.
Yeah. Outstanding bit of play. And as you say, Holman's work rate there. He's ran and bounced out of D50. Drew the pressure nicely. Great chain, and then he's involved up forward as well. He's working hard.
Good Gippsland boy, Asher Eastham Dice from Hayfield.
There you go. We love that.
Coleman gets upstairs decisively down to Brew. Oh, the early acceptance there from Dylan Patterson gives away the free, and Lockie Charlson will take it. Spent a couple of years with Port Adelaide, playing in the SANFL. Kicks to the top of the goal square. Elliott had a play at it. Moyles' handball missed his hand. Picked off by Razzo, who spins, snaps and misses.
It's the pressure again from Werribee. That gave them that opportunity to have the shot. Just wasn't able to nail the snap on the left.
Richmond's leading goal kicker last season, Massimo Razzo in the VFL.
He loves that position.
Yep. Made it his own. 26 goals for the Tigers last season. Look at Patterson with that burst off half-back, handball infield. Sexton, Holman's been everywhere. Disposal number 16. Well, he didn't dispose of it in the end. He got caught, dragged to a stop. And again, it's Donegan involved. His pressure's been immense for Werribee. 4 tackles for Sam Donegan. Trying to win the footy here. Does, picks it up and just bashes it inside the 50. Easy pickings for Graham.
Yeah, it was good early body by Graham. Got the drop of the ball.
Dominating defensively in the aerial contest, as you see on screen. Through those intercept marks, the Suns. Nervous handball inside from Sexton. Set Colson a task. They're just waiting for the umpire to blow the whistle there. He's going to be a free kick to Kobe Colson. 5 academy graduates, 17 listed players out there for the Suns this morning. Thomas measures it inside the 50 and Moyle was just too big and stood under it to take the mark.
It was good positioning from Moyle. Actually, his direct opponent was probably 15 metres back towards the goal, waiting for the long ball to go inside forward 50. And so they've spotted him up nicely.
A nice bit of composure. Usually you can find you can blaze away from that area and sort of risk v reward. Sometimes that can bounce out the other way if it doesn't hit, but great mark from the big fella.
One of 4 out there who played in their 2023 VFL Premiership for the Suns, Ned Moyle. From right inside the 50, how's his goal kicking? Not quite up to task.
Just missed it, but it's a good point, Dyson, because if he drops that, Werribee had the numbers to really go fast off turnover.
5 marks inside 50, and there's another off the intercept for Farah. He wheels around, drops it off to Colson.
He did that so well, Farah. His teasing distance was spot on then because he knows he's got the speed, so he set himself up, created the Werribee to have that look with that short kick and closed it up so well.
I like his intent to get that ball back inside too instead of having a shot from the boundary.
Kicked 1 goal 1 in the AFL team last week, Jai Farah. Brought back to VFL level this week. Here's Kobe Colson. He strikes it from just inside the arc. High footy right to the pocket. Walter sat under it. Look at the strength of the big fella. He got spun around and around.
That's
got the handball away. Had to be.
360.
They've been a bit forgiving, the umpires today. I would have thought.
Sort of looked like Winter Olympics type stuff. 360 tuck.
Little pirouette.
Something else in there. I'm not sure how the judges saw it. Over the top comes Thomas. He attacks the ball like an absolute bull at a gate, Avery Thomas. He will fly at anything.
Werribee been a lot better at restricting the handball game from Gold Coast through the corridor. They've been able to stop the last 3.
Clark fashioned the kick out wide. Newton delivers inside the 50 superbly. And Noah Tullio kicked 1 in the first. He's got another chance here.
Jono, on the money, that their ability to pressure that forward handball from Gold Coast, they've been able to stem the tide a number of times now, and this is a great look for them going forward.
Kicked 1 with the toe poke from the goal square at the other end in the opening term. 4 lead changes in that first quarter between these 2 teams. Noah Tullio can make it a 5th from 45 metres out. That kick is there. He's got a pair. Werribee have got the lead back.
It's a good finish. They needed that. Werribee, a couple of opportunities that they've missed. Jed Walter just on the sideline. We'll get an update from Tom Rockcliffe very shortly. But Werribee and their ability to win the ball back where they did, and this is a beautiful kick inside forward 50.
Lovely finish, just for the confidence and the energy of the group. You know, being able to finish and capitalise goals is pivotal.
Especially when both teams so far have combined for 6 goals, 11. And we've seen some more gilt-edged chances than that missed thus far. Stuff from Noah Tulio. Having a little bit of a chat with Avery Thomas as they stand side by side.
Thomas nearly took mark of the year early in the season over him before. Oh, there you go.
There he goes again. Have a look at the attack from him.
Must have been touched off the boot.
Aerial Avery.
There you go, touched off the boot.
There you go. Far out.
That's
He's gone
unlucky.
back with the flight. That is unbelievable dig.
They might need an Avery to keep him contained at this stage, the way he's flying for the ball.
Very good.
Head over it for Basudal. Tackle laid by Colson. And a stoppage inside 50. Let's check in on the boundary side. Tom Rockcliffe.
Yeah, Jed Walter in the hands of the trainers and doctors at the moment. Looks like a left ankle complaint, but Werribee's dominance around these stoppages will be concerning for Gold Coast Suns. They're completely dominating them at ground level as they're going to win another one here.
Absolute spifflication in the clearances. 17-3 so far for Werribee. Neatly pointed out, Tom. The Suns will clear from half back only momentarily. That's touched on the way out, so no last touch free kick there.
Yeah, it looks like it's a good pick up by Tom. It looks like they're just trying to win the ball back at half back, Gold Coast, and provide their run and drive by hand from that part of the ground.
Newton got a shove in the back, so that's the reason for the free for Newton. He thrashes it as far and as high as he can. Elliott from the back, can't take it with him. Charlson, I'm not quite sure what he was doing there. Taking his frustration out on the behind post. That could have gone really wrong if that had have come back and hit him in the face. Lockie Charlson may not be trying that one again. 52nd pick of the 2023 draft. Graham on the last line. He stepped across. Suns did kick a goal in transition in the opening term. Patterson will go short to the pocket as they try and build it up. Oscar Adams at half-back. Here's the run from the flying man. Avery Thomas takes a couple of bounces and lost the footy. And then just burrowed his head in to try and win it away from Brew.
Yeah, Brew's arguing the fact that he went to ground and took his legs. So could have easily have got the free kick himself.
Thomas kicks toward half forward. There's a teammate there who was interfered with in the marking contest. Farah, who's going to have the football. Delivers to the pocket. Elliott worked hard to get back there. He dropped it. Ugle-Hagan with the pick-up. He ran into Clark. Got caught. Swallow got the hands free. Colson back to Swallow. They set it up again. Back to Farah from where it all started. To full forward. Roved nicely off hands. Jepson's kick. Ricochets away. And cleverly done from Razzo operating at his non-preferred end of the ground. With the deft touch that he might have displayed inside forward 50. Graham corrals it. Nervous, awkward kick back the other way. Trying to crash through there was Tommy Bennett, who's shown some good signs so far. Brew kicks inside 50, lovely delivery. He dropped it into the bucket there for Wright.
They get this shot at goal because of the work rate of Dalhouse. It's simple as that. He was the one who had to push forward on Graham, put the initial pressure on, and then it just started the chain, and his teammates flowed with him, which was even better to create the turnover and get the ball back inside forward 50.
Real tone setter, Jay Dalhouse for this Werribee team. Brady Wright, he's going to take it on from out wide. He sold the setup kick nicely in the end. Simpson couldn't take it off hands. Taken down was Lockie Cramp, who had a shot in that first quarter at this end of the ground. Riding, laying over the top of the pack. Dragged to a stop. So Werribee with the last 2 goals in the game. Both teams have missed some opportunities thus far. Simpson on the left, fashions the kick inside the forward 50. And there's a free for some holding on there. It's going to be Smith or Dalhouse to take it.
I think it's Dalhouse who'll get this.
Well, he deserves it.
Well, he does, yeah, with all the effort that he's put in so far in this game. He just pushed back hard on his direct opponent on that occasion. He was out of the contest, but just that grit to get back, put body on to win the free kick.
His shoulders will have taken a beating over the years with the way he plays, Jay Dalhouse. 21 goals last season. Handy in front of the sticks, and he just poked at that. Three goals, 8 now for Werribee. 1 goal, 3 in this quarter. Harry Heathcote drives it to the wing. Nick Newton picks it off for Werribee, and they can set up again. They're dominating territory now.
They're really able to stem the tide of Gold Coast with their handball chains and force them into a long kick.
Dyson Heppel alongside Brad Johnson with you here on Fox. Sunday ticket. Essendon, Port Adelaide, West Coast, North Melbourne. Coming up in the AFL this afternoon to close out round 2. Of course, the Suns, big victors yesterday over the Tigers at the MCG. Just a lazy 7 for Ben King, as Jono mentioned earlier. Gold Coast transition it back the other way. Here's Jepson. Runner-up in the best and fairest last season. Kicks inside the forward 50. And Noble knocked it out of the waiting arms of Azzy. (18-3), those clearances in favour of Werribee. 30-17, the tackles thus far. 2 big factors in the contest. Here's Ayres. And some good pressure to run that one down. Nicely done from Lockie Goulburn. And let's go downstairs. Tom Rockcliffe.
Yeah, Jed Walter's been strapped up, looking to come back on the ground now, but there's been an SOS sent out, Jono. They want you to come down at half-time. Both coaches, a bit of goal-kicking practice for both teams at half-time.
Tommy, happy to help out. Yeah, you're right. Great conditions and not being able to nail the easy opportunities so far in this game.
6 goals, 13 between the two teams, and quite a few of them from set shots, as we've seen. Qual Munn.
But that's the thing too, because it's the fatigue, the heat, all these things. You nail that set shot, you get your minute spell. You don't nail that set shot. You bang, you switch back on again, and away you go. So the flow-on effect can be so negative just from that one easy miss.
Charlie Lazaro might need to revisit the shoulder strapping at half-time by the looks. Goulburn's handball out wide. Riding throws himself at it. And again, trademark stuff from Jack Riding. Really neat kick from Donegan. It's been impressive. Will Elliott's up on the wing. Pumps it inside the forward 50. Wright was the target. It's been easily paid to Cooper Bell. Oscar Adams had no idea where the footy went then. Picked up by Razzo. Handball over the top. Razzo will get it back. Loves these situations. He misses as well.
They're getting plenty of looks, boys, just off the back of their pressure again. Being outstanding.
1 goal, 4 in the quarter for Werribee. You see the way that they've dominated the territory thus far. 10 inside 50s to 4.
Oh,
Goulburn going for a ride this time.
Good ball.
Carving kick in field from Goulburn to set things up for the Suns moving forward. Ryan Ayres takes it away. Impressive debut campaign last year for Werribee. Tullio kicks inside the 50. Operating in space is Dalhouse. He's got runners coming past. This is Smith, who lines them up, and Jake Smith sticks it through. Much needed one for Werribee to capitalise on their dominance.
That was brilliant by Ayres to be able to just watch the ball and read it at half back. His direct opponent was charging to the goal square. He held position, won the ball back for Werribee and created a nice overflow.
Yeah, no doubt. He's read it beautifully. Just managed to just stay courageous, stay brave in terms of his positioning and come forward. That's the one that they've been able to do, is keep coming forward as a defensive unit and get plenty of looks going forward. And gee whiz, that certainly helps. Just take a bit of a breather for the boys and
get some rotations happening as well in the contest.
No doubt.
Some players sitting there that would have been for a while waiting to get back onto the ground.
Yeah. It's amazing how it can become contagious, the missing shots on goal. So hopefully that can be a little circuit breaker.
2 goals, 4 in the quarter for Werribee. The Suns with 1 goal, 1. They've kicked the last 3 in the match here of the Bees. Hugo Hagen flies forward inside forward 50. Walter's back out there as Tom told us he would be, as he missed the hand pass. He got caught. And a free kick to Cooper Collins for the Suns.
Yeah, strong tackle by Collins.
Absolutely. We've seen some really good efforts today, some big tackles. See if we can get the quick reply from Gold Coast.
We get a pretty early assessment here on whether the goal kicking has been contagious, Dice.
Yeah.
After about 45 seconds, Cooper Collins, the teenager's going to have his set shot. He's got the Josh Kennedy stutter step up, left foot kick on the way. Beautiful.
We're back, boys. Here we are. Lovely finish.
It's out of centre bounce as well. So they're able to get a good deep kick inside forward 50 from centre bounce. Ugelhagen, Walter, both involved in the contest. And then Collins at ground level. Werribee win it back, but a strong tackle.
Yeah, deep entries from centre bounce is pivotal. Just gives them a great look here. Great tackle.
Nice finish from Cooper Collins. Played the 8 games last year. He's on the board. Gold Coast's 2nd goal of this 2nd term. 14th on the table last season, the Suns. Werribee 16th in this expanded competition. Of course, Tassie playing yesterday, getting their first win at a packed North Hobart Oval.
How good did that look?
What a sight that was. Absolutely glorious. Here's Max Noble. Left foot inside 50s, a really neat kick. Ugelhagen had a couple of goes at it and had the arms chopped on the way through.
Another centre bounce clearance.
There's saw here as well.
Another centre bounce clearance for Gold Coast. So I reckon the message would have been sent out to try and get back on top around there. So a couple of big efforts.
He's trying to rediscover his touch and form. Jamara Ugelhagen to earn his way into the Suns AFL team. That one hasn't got the carry, and it's bashed through. Damien Hardwick said repeatedly they really don't want to rush him. They will take their time with Jamara to make sure that when they pick him, he is ready. It's as good as it. A year out of the system. Traded to the Suns for a 4th round selection in the off-season. See if they can get him going as a bit of a reclamation project. Boyle from on halfway. Comes back centrally. He's Adams for the Suns. Made his debut late last year after going back to Glenelg and winning a flag a couple of seasons ago. Lockie Cramp. Hopefully he doesn't struggle in the heat this morning. Comes a high footy inside the arc. They all went up. Noble chief among them. Holman waited for it, pounced on it, got grabbed by Riding. Umpire says mine.
See what they can manufacture here, the Suns. Forward stoppage, they've been smashed in clearance. See if they can get one here.
Coleman down to Donegan, who curls it out of there. Straight into the waiting arms of Dylan Patterson. Neat kick to the pocket. Gee, Ugelhagen had 9/10 of it. Just couldn't complete the final part. They have built the wall here, Gold Coast. Opportunity for Eastham, turned it over. Werribee will come back the other way. Wright's kick to centre-half forward. Elliott went up, couldn't take it with him. Razzo was there to pounce. Goal at his mercy. He misses to the left.
Perfect positioning, front and square, with speed.
Absolutely, roved it beautifully. Just didn't quite hit it.
He's going to provide them with some highlights this season, that is for sure.
Yeah, the home crowd's going to love him.
Lockie Goulburn's been busy, 9th disposal for him at a goal, and another as he floats the handball into the centre of the ground. Coulson links up with Swallow, and now Holman. He's got options everywhere. Ugle-Hagan another run at it, punched away from him. Good defence from Azzy. Jamara, second effort was terrific. He tried to offload inside the forward 50. Simpson with an important defensive intervention for Werribee. Razzo riding, slipped the tackle, freed his arms to get the handball away to Pinnock. And now they can really get something going here, the Bees. Strolling up to half forward is Charlie Lazaro. And it's a beautiful delivery to Elliott.
Dyson, that's exactly what you're talking about in terms of earlier in this quarter. Moyle marked one at centre-half forward, which worked out for Gold Coast. They get spoiled on that occasion, and then they're just caught out on transition.
That's the one. That's that danger zone, sort of that, you know, centre-half forward area where you can really just get pounced on the other end. And you know, Gold Coast trying to get their handball chain going again, didn't quite link up, and quick turnover for another shot on goal for Werribee.
And a bright start for Will Elliott early in this one. Already got one. He's got a second. And that is a really nice build-up, capped off for the Bees.
Yeah, it was a good build-up here by Werribee. And you can see off centre-half back there. Once they got the ball to the outside here, they just had numbers out everywhere. And it became quite easy. You can just see a stroll towards 50. Had the pick of 3 players and made the right decision in the end. Elliott in the best position, 20 metres out directly in front. That's a good finish.
You don't want to give Charlie Lazaro too much room to move out on the wing. He's sort of strolling inside and assessed his options really nice.
He'll be a handy pickup for them this season, Dice.
Yeah, no doubt. Chaz loved playing with him last year down at Port. And, yeah, no, very handy pickup for Werribee.
Played his under-18 footy at the Geelong Falcons with Jesse Clark and Jay Dalhouse. St Mary's product, I think. Just behind Kinnedia Park there. Toe poke here from Clark. Here is the Werribee captain. Jepson, Holman. They turn it over nicely here, the Suns. Slick by hand. Evans to Sexton. We know he's got some goal-kicking ability. He shows it on the outside of the boot.
Gee whiz, that's pretty slick handball chain. To be able to wrap that back inside 40 or 50 metres just via handball, a terrific opportunity there, and Sexton's finish. Mate, that's pretty handy, Jono.
He flushed it.
Absolutely
he
flushed it.
Don't worry about that.
Gee whiz.
It had a bit of chinana about it, which Ben Dixon will be happy with me saying that this afternoon. But ultimately, he hits it beautifully, and it does flow back late. But you can hit these ones skinny, and you don't get the distance. You don't get the distance on them, but it's pure.
That's not a fluke either. He flushed 2 of them against us down at the Borough last year. I thought, this is unbelievable. So give it to him. A nice finish.
He's always had that class in front of goals.
Yeah.
He's kicked plenty of them. Alex Sexton. He's going to provide plenty of experience as captain of this young Suns team this season. 186 games at the top level, 164 goals. And kicked big bags at times as well.
Yeah, it's important, isn't it, to have senior experience around a developing group. You mentioned a lot of, local players too, academy players that are in this lineup. So that experience and leadership is important from himself and Swallow and Holman, who's running around.
It's Alex Sexton, one of the original Suns Academy players that come through their system. One of the 5 out there at the moment, and he's pushing up the average age because all the others are kids. And Alex Sexton in the twilight of his career. Ugle-Hagan in the pocket. Got dragged off it, wanted the free kick, won't get it. Here is Sexton laying the tackle to lock things up.
You can't question the effort of Jamari Uhagan at the moment. He's having a crack, he's doing things at speed. If this opens up this game, then he's likely to cash in.
Sexton read it nicely off hands, couldn't take it with him. Farah, Moyle, they're all just slapping at it, trying to knock it clear. Now turned over, handball a little bit too hot for Jepson. Razzo, who's been important in this second term, working up and down the ground. Dalhouse has been doing it throughout thus far. Kicks to half forward here. Adams slid in front of Klashevsky, knocks it out toward the boundary side. Thomas, Holman. Adams will have another go, feeds it in field. Nick Holman continues to run. They're dominating that handball game, the Suns. Holman's kick to half forward. Ooh, the door was open for Jamara. He just couldn't trap it inside the boundary line.
Yeah. Holman's having himself a bit of a day here. He's just notched up to 21 disposals.
Well, Tommy told us someone was going to go for 40.
Yeah, must have listened.
Nick Holman looks like he's going to be the likely customer to drop the 40 piece. 25 more uncontested possessions here in this second term for the Suns. Holman with 21. Pavlidis, almost like an NFL punter, just as high as he could. Wait for the runners to get back there.
And it's interesting as well, isn't it? Because it becomes a bit of a watch for Werribee. Holman's getting plenty of ball, but they're dominating stoppage and clearance, so there's a little bit of that playing out at the moment.
Sorry, yesterday with Jacob Dawson, who had high 30s for Southport in their 40-point loss against Richmond.
So you don't want to lose your structure here just by throwing a tagger maybe onto Holman. General play maybe. Yep. Someone may roll with him, but around the contest, Werribee have been too strong.
Yeah, no doubt. I think you keep a watch on it. He's also had a lot of handballs, so he's sort of not getting that real outside run and flow. So, yeah, stick with the clearance wins for the time being.
Late stages of this second term. A goal would be immensely valuable for both of these teams. Neither will have a chance. And Werribee go to half-time, up by 4 points. Plenty of opportunities for both of these teams in the opening half. And the Bees lead at 5-10-40 to the Gold Coast 5-6-36, but plenty to like about what both of them have delivered.
Yeah, it's been a great first half. The pressure's been right there. They're starting to get a bit more flow in the game in that second term. Both teams use the ball a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. And finishing off in front of goal a couple of times as well. Bit of reprieve for both teams and great contest so far.
So a bit to work on for both of them as they go to the sheds at half-time. Nick Holman with those 22 disposals. Riding's been important for Werribee as well with his 13. 42 tackles to 20 for Werribee, so that pressure factor's been a real feature of their game.
Yeah, it has been. You're right. They just got to get to work around the contest, Gold Coast. I think that'll be one of the assessments there at half-time will be just to get things work because Moore's getting his hand on the ball. So Werribee have been able to read that quite well and have been a little bit stronger around the clearance areas.
And that clearance number, 24-8 in favour of the Sun or of Werribee so far. Let's get inside the Werribee camp. Tom Rockliff's with Jesse Clark.
Yeah, Jesse, you must be super impressed with your midfielders' first half.
Absolutely. I think we thrive in our contest work and we try and sort of get the game on our terms from the contest. So, yeah, when they have a start like this, we love it. Makes our job easier down back and also the forwards get a good look at it.
Yeah, you're going to get your balance right in the second half, when to go fast and when to go slow. Pretty trying conditions for you boys out here.
Yeah, I think we spoke a lot about it this week, knowing when to control, when to go fast. I think it's just a maturity thing. It's knowing the right time to go, and I think we can improve on that this second half. Obviously, fatigue will come into it a bit, but I back the boys in that we're smart enough to know when to go.
Good luck for the second half.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
Here's the Werribee captain, Jesse Clark, with Tom Rockliff at half-time. His side up by 4 points. We'll get Jono and Dice to delve into it all on the other side of this. Half-time at People First Stadium. The Gold Coast Suns and Werribee in round one of this VFL season. Both teams trying to re-enter finals after missing last season. And it's a good game that we've got here at half-time. 5-10-40 the Bees, the Suns 5-6-36. A taxing contest in warm weather so far. And Jono, it is being played with really contrasting styles.
Oh, it certainly is. You're right. It's the contest game of Werribee, which has been very good. Their tackle numbers are plus 22 at the moment, and their clearance numbers are well in front as well, 7-22. Inside 50s are even though, so Gold Coast are winning the ball back at certain stages, Dyson, trying to use it by hand to get through, which Werribee were able to clog up in that second term.
Yeah, absolutely. Those contrasting styles and Werribee managing to stop and stem the flow of Gold Coast handball chains coming forward gave them some great looks going back the other way, and the pressure's been great. Like as we see here, Werribee's been hot on their pressure all day, so kept them right in the contest and been so strong around the ball, which has been really important in this contest.
And we saw finally late some players take advantage of some set shots. They both missed a couple in front of the sticks thus far in this contest. This was a really nice bit of play from Alex Sexton. So a little bit to work on for Dan Lowther in those Werribee rooms at half-time. The big watch in this game, of course, Jamarra Ugle-Hagan, whose first season at the Gold Coast Suns. A lot of talk about when he will play in the AFL. Dice, how have you assessed his game so far?
Yeah, look, he's been quite lively. I reckon he's been so close to opening this game up. His craft has been really good. He's looking sharp and dynamic when he's getting near the ball. He's getting involved in pressure, in defence as well. And look, he's obviously rusty. His early first up start, bit of work to do, but at the same time, he's looked quite prominent throughout the game.
I think he'll enjoy the handball game if they can get that right, especially through corridor. That'll open up Jamarra to go to work with plenty of space around him. Slow play's been a little bit more difficult in regards to getting those one-on-one battles that he likes. But you're right, his energy's there. You cannot question that side of his game in the first half.
Yeah. So a bit to work on for the Suns in this second half. A lot to like about what Jamarra Ugle-Hagan has delivered. They trail by 4 at the main break here at People First Stadium. Sunday ticket on Fox in the VFL. game of contrasting styles in this first half. And when the Gold Coast Suns get it right, this is what it looks like. Their handball domination, fleet of foot. They just continue to work it and find options. There's Asher Eatham. Keep your eye on him in a second because he's about to unload one from right on the arc. A beautiful goal. He exemplifies the way that they want to play their footy in this game this afternoon, the Gold Coast Suns. They trail by 4 points at halftime. Joel Peterson, Brad Johnson, and Dyson Heppel with you. There's Jamara Ugle-Hagan in the Suns rooms at halftime. Let's take a look at this round one of VFL action so far. It all started back on Friday with a couple of big results. Frankston getting over the line against Williamstown, Geelong over Essendon. Yesterday, though, the two big games. Tassie, what a spectacle that was yesterday, Dice, with their win over Coburg down at North Hobart.
Yeah, no doubt. It looked like an absolute vibe down there. Great turnout from the crowd, and yeah, they're certainly excited to have footy come down to Tassie. Unbelievable.
And the reigning premiers, Jono, got on the board. They had 40 scoring shots against Casey yesterday, Footscray. Will Lewis kicked 6. Interesting week for him.
Oh, it was a big week for Will Lewis. He got smashed last week in an incident. Himmelberg's teeth went into his head. That got a little bit infected. And then he had the big black eye. His nose was a little bit bent, and he gets dropped. So it was a tough week for the young man. And he's done well to come out, have 6 goals, 9 scoring shots. Good to see Artie Jones, who's having got out with concussion in round 0 against the Brisbane Lions, bounces back with 16 and 2 goals himself. And Adam Treloar had 33 as well. So all of a sudden, the Bulldogs' experience right through is growing, so they're going to be tough to beat throughout this year.
Sun CEO Mark Evans in the rooms there as they get ready to go here in this second half. This is what coming up on your Sunday ticket live on Fox Footy. Your Bombers, Dice, trying to get on the board this season against the Power.
Yes, let's go, Dons. Come on, lads. Fire up this week.
And West Coast and North Melbourne, which are, a sneaky big game for the Kangaroos, Jono.
Oh, it's big. Start 2-0. What they did last week against Port Adelaide, their midfield was strong. And I did the West Coast game, and they looked a little bit off. Their pressure was good, but then they're just a young team at the moment. But at home, they're always tougher to beat.
All the fun of the fair and bounce, and then Joey and Kingy will have you covered on First Crack later on this evening as well. So your Sunday ticket on Fox. Good second half coming up here on the Gold Coast as well. It's the Bees by 4 points. half-time at People First Stadium. It is Werribee who lead by 4 points, 5-10 to 5-6 of the Suns. Both teams have played some fast and furious footy in this first half. Beautiful Gold Coast Sunday as well. And they are back out there ready to get set for this second half of action. Round one in the VFL. Joel Peterson, Dyson Heppel and Brad Johnson with you to call all the action. Let's check in downstairs. Tom Rockcliffe is there. Tom, you've got a little bit of intel from both sets of rooms at halftime.
Yeah, pretty simple messages from both coaches. For the Gold Coast Suns, it's to try and even out those contests, particularly around stoppage and clearance, and then open the game up and run over the top of Werribee. They believe they've got the running power to get that done in the second half. And for Werribee, the message is simple: continue to compete in and around those contests, make sure they win those stoppages, and most importantly, take their chances in front of goal.
And conditions still pretty good, Tom? Pretty warm?
Yeah, conditions are perfect, about 26 degrees. A little bit of a swirly breeze around. There is storms in the area or a little bit of showers passing through, but we've been safe so far and it looks like it's going to miss us. So perfect conditions down here at ground level.
What I'm hearing there, Dyson, John, is no excuses.
That's right. And as much as they've dominated clearance wherever, they haven't scored from it. Both teams' scores have been coming from turnover in this game. Gold Coast 4-4-28 and Werribee 5-5-35, all from turnover. So Werribee would like to lift that sort of side of it as they've dominated this clearance part of the game. And the numbers are huge, 7-22. So it's a massive advantage to Werribee. But can they score now off the back of it in this second half?
Yeah, that's the one. You really want to capitalise on that discrepancy. That's enormous. 22-7, and Gold Coast even late had a couple of clean centre clearances for scoring opportunities. So making the most of those.
Gold Coast handball game, we spoke about it a lot, Dyson, but they're going at 87 kicks, 105 handball. So there's, and I think they'd love to maybe even that up a little bit, get that ratio a little bit closer as well as the team. A lot of that has come through the corridor. They're trying to break it open. And that's the way they play at senior level as well, with Rioli and Noble. So we understand what is happening here from a VFL perspective in the style of play. So the transition to senior footy becomes an instant one if you do get the call up as a player. But just to even it up a little bit, make the right decision at the right time.
Yeah, that's the one. And they broke the lines beautifully a couple of times, and probably that one or two extra that just cooked them a bit, where Werribee could come forward, really stop that momentum and punish them going back the other way.
So players heading to their positions to start this second half. Gold Coast won 3 of their 6 matchups over recent seasons, including that 2023 grand final triumph. 4 players out there who played in that game today. Big Ned Moyle is one of them as he waits for things to unfold here in this second half. He's had an influence on proceedings to try and set up things in the middle of the ground. Werribee have read to his work beautifully. How does this second half play out? Close game as we get going after half-time. And immediately Moyle gives away a free kick. Has to come and stand the mark. Big AJ Qualman. He just directs some traffic and said, boys, I'm going long. Get on the end of this. He kicks it an absolute mile inside the 50. And Caleb Graham stands under it.
He just claimed that.
A couple of 4 sets of hands, I reckon.
I think Adams had a fair bit of that as well.
Oh, dear.
A little bit of craft from Caleb Graham, bit of guile.
He has looked confident with the high ball coming in, though, Graham.
Yep. Certainly backs himself in the air.
Taken high there was Cousins by Farah. So Mace Cousins will take it from that Nerang River wing. Cuts his kick in field. Zaro's been important thus far. Disposal number 13. Goes defensively. Get another look at that slightly awkward kicking style of Ryan Ayres, the Carrara Rutherglen product. Now Newton got boot to ball and turned it over to Patterson. They had an open field to work with there, Werribee mucked it up. And now trying to make them pay, coming back the other way. Kobe Coulson from distance.
Wow, beautiful finish. There's another punish on turnover again. You can see Werribee trying to come around the defensive setup of Gold Coast, and just that kicking efficiency really just let them down there again. And beautiful finish.
Drop mark, Dyson. Yeah. It just built pressure. They had a nice strong build up, nice and slow, but it was a drop mark, and that put pressure on the kick then, had to be rushed. Gold Coast, easy turnover and caught Werribee out on transition.
No doubt, yeah.
So you just got to be clean. It's being switched on after half time.
That's the one.
Early on.
Yep, no doubt. Just that sometimes it comes right back to the fundamentals, doesn't it? Keep it simple.
Kobe Colson, whose dad Doug's been there, Bruce has been their #1 ticket holder in seasons past. Foundation member of the Suns, Bruce Colson, and the young bloke's plying his trade and kicking some very nice goals. Trying to work his way into their senior squad. Here he is again, Kobe Colson. Handball out wide. Holman's there. Feeds it back to Thomas, who's done some impressive things thus far. Upstairs goes Evans. Free kick and advantage. Maybe not the best decision to take it in the end. Colson, who dumped it in there and turned it over. Now the Bees can build something coming back the other way. Lockie Charlson. Trying to measure the pass inside the 50. Leshevsky. Cooper Bell had his measure. Patterson hasn't had a lot of treasured space he loves to operate in. Cramp over the top. And it's walked across the boundary line. 52 more handballs for the Suns in this game. Clear method that they want to play with. As John Owen Dice spoke about, Dom Brew pumps it inside to the pocket, and no one can keep that in. Get a stoppage here, the Bees.
It's a pretty good result, though.
Yeah.
Don't mind that. The fact that it goes out of play now, they get a chance to set up, see what they can manufacture here with a forward stoppage. Gold Coast with one player there. Looks like Graham just off the contest.
Oil puts his fist through it. Worked out beautifully for Holman in the end. Who bashes it straight out of play.
I'm not sure that's part of the setup, just to bash it towards the boundary line, but it did work out.
Nick Holman thought, gee, that's a good idea. I might try the same thing with my foot. Here's Lazaro.
Oh, good chase.
And it was nice stuff from Farah.
Great pressure. Closing speed elite.
Seen him plenty at the senior level. Played 11 games at VFL level last year for 16 goals. Jai Farah. Played both finals last season as well after working his way back into the team in round 20. Nick Holman coming up for disposal number 26. Coleman underran it. And it all opens up out the back here. Long kick toward half forward from Farah. The advantage paid. It's going against Hugel Hagen, and Ayres will take the free kick in defence for Werribee.
Jamara's eyes lit up then. He thought he was steaming into goal.
Newton at half-back. Laid in. No Emerson Jecker out there, the former Hawk today for Werribee. So Nick Newton gets his opportunity to pull on the big W for the first time. Pinnock kicks up the line, and again, Caleb Graham. That's been a facet of the game that they have dominated those intercept marks. 15-4. Patterson on the outside of the boot. Cooper Collins kicked a goal in that second quarter.
And Graham's got 6 of the 15.
It's impressive stuff. Jepson. Here's Graham this time marking on the offensive side of the ball. Tried to measure the kick out wide. Getting a hand to it was Cooper Bell. In fact, no, it was out untouched. So Pinnock sends Werribee inside forward 50. Will Elliott's got a chance here. Running back to goal. Can he keep his feet? They all tumble over and Patterson rushes it through.
He did well to rush it through in the end. The boys were going head over biscuit, heading back towards goal.
He looked like he was no chance for a moment there, Will Elliott. His eyes sort of lit up. He thought, oh, actually.
I might be in it with a sniff.
He just sort of plonked it into 5th and 6th gear.
One lucky bounce and it was in his arms.
Yeah, true.
Cooper Bell off half-back, out of contract at year's end for the Suns. One of their listed players, Callis. Newton for Werribee from right on halfway. Just dropped it onto the boot. Thrashed it inside the forward 50. Dalhouse taking a ground. Good stuff from Eastham. One point in this game. So we had a thriller back on Friday night between Frankston and Williamstown. The Gulls getting the job done by 2 points. So the first close game we've seen in this opening round of the VFL is scooting across to make sure that didn't go out for a last touch free kick was Lockie Goulburn. One of the emergencies for their AFL team yesterday, Jono.
He was, and he's doing enough now. There is obviously the injury to their star, Christian Petrarca, so an opportunity will open up, and he's playing well.
12 disposals and a goal so far for Lockie Goulburn. Jepson's been impressive as well. He kicks inside the 50. Walter the target. It'll stay in for Sam Azzi, who got dragged down. And it is that man on the spot in Goulburn who rushed inside forward 50.
He's doing the right things, Dyson, isn't he? You're named as an emergency. You're in the lights. You're there. You're in the squad. And you just got to play well then. Keep backing it up at VFL level. He's playing a good game.
No doubt, no doubt. Can be a tough position, that one, sort of right on the border of getting a game in the AFL side, but
especially with the team that's winning every week and winning well. So, you know, you are waiting on an injury or two to potentially get an opportunity.
Yep. He'll see how he goes here.
Be a very good kick if he can finish this off. And he can't deliver that.
Big bump up. Big bump up.
Come on, man.
Puts it out of bounds on the full.
I feel like the senior coaches might have had the same reaction to that. They want someone to really make their job easy at match committee this week.
That's it.
Speaking of, though, boys, I think it's about time to get someone on Holman. He's, you know, even around clearances now, he's starting to get on top. So he's building up to 28 odd now, I think, disposals.
Yeah, he's right in the game, isn't he? And as it goes on and it remains a tight game, he could be the difference.
Yep.
Because of the form that he's running around with.
Yep.
He's had twice as many disposals as any Werribee player so far. Just underlining how much of the footy he's seen. He almost got another opportunity there. Dropping the mark, Jordan Basudal had to try and work it out of defence with Pinnock. And now Callett across half-back. He picks that one off neatly. Mace gets onto his favoured left, kicks to a 1-on-2. Farah was good enough to intercept. Sends it back the other way for the Suns. And this man has had some big moments in front of the sticks. Zach Evans had one earlier in the game and couldn't finish it off. He's got a very similar shot here to what he had in the opening term.
Another intercept mark again, boys. This kicking efficiency sort of coming out the back half, just really just letting Werribee down a couple of times.
Games last season for Zach Evans. 3 score involvements thus far. Can he hit the scoreboard in a major way? No, he misses to the left-hand side. Must be something about this end of the ground. The Suns kicked 2-4 in the opening term. Werribee kicked 3-5 in the second quarter. That open end of the ground. Newton brought it back into play, turned it over. Collins takes the mark. Plays on immediately to Cramp. It's an awkward kick. It might get the job done. It ended up bouncing over the head of Goulburn, who recovered nicely, handed it off to Bennett. His kick across the face is out of bounds on the full. Hear the instruction there from the Suns to really squeeze this field for Werribee coming on their way out. Joel Peterson, Brad Johnson, Dyson Heppel and Tom Rockcliffe with you. Sunday ticket on Fox. Essendon, Port Adelaide, West Coast, North Melbourne still to come this afternoon. Close out round 2 in the AFL. Another turnover coming off half-back. Easy pickings for Jepson, who'll get the free.
Yeah, good courage as well, going back with the flight, knowing that Elliott was going to make the contest.
Runner-up in there, best and fairest last year, Jepson, and almost turned it over straight away. Sexton threw that back to Will Elliott in the end. Now it's taken away by Tullio. He threw it to himself, then got onto his right boot. Out the back, Charlson took it at ground level, rode a bump, rode a tackle, got it out. Klashevsky, Bell was right there with him. Graham picks it up, tackled by Pinnock, ball spills free. And Jepson will get it out of there to clear the immediate danger. A reprieve for the Suns. Maybe not for long, because Brew gave it off, and an important shot at goal. And they needed a bit of class. And Louis Pinnock was the man on the spot.
See, it's a good finish. It's a great strike in the end. Will Elliott's pressure up the ground just prior, his smother and then a deflection on the handball just allowed Werribee to create the turnover and get this look shot on goal. Great finish.
Yeah, it is a good finish. He's building a good game as well, Dyson. 15 disposals, at 80% effective disposal with 6 score involvements now. So that's building nicely for Pinnock, and that's a big finish. Werribee needed that. It had been a Gold Coast third term so far. They dominated forward half of the ground, and that's a good reply there from Werribee to get themselves back in front.
He's a very, very good player, Louis Pinnock. 27 years of age. He's been doing it for quite a while at a high level. 124 games of VFL footy across his career. No stranger kicking big goals. And he puts Werribee back in front. Tom Noble getting his opportunity in the ruck, gets the clearance. Skies it to the edge of the arc. Good mark from Kellett. Pulled it in safely to his chest. Lazaro got upended, and he'll get the kick here. Now an opportunity for Brew, 3-time reigning best and fairest. Star of that premiership team a couple of years ago. And Graham with another intercept mark.
Yeah, that's 7. Building up.
He's been ruling the air back there. Absolutely impenetrable, Caleb Graham. The only one he didn't mark was when he spoiled it down to Will Elliott in the opening quarter. Straight to the opposition. Tullio runs to left half forward. He'll get on the end of it here. Well, tried to. Adams was closing late and did well to get a hand in. Bell feigned out toward the boundary line. Set Tommy Bennett a task. He was equal to it. And now scooting away, Harry Heathcote. He's got a name like an old school snooker player or something. Harry Heathcote. Walter inside forward 50. It drove beautifully off hands. Flying shot at goal. Goulburn in the pocket again, who was working hard and missed that one.
Getting plenty of looks, Goulburn.
And important in this third term particularly.
Yeah, 1 goal, 1 and 1 out of bounds on the full.
Pressing his case, he's probably done a lot of what they would have wanted to see from someone in this game in the early part of the day. Assume there's going to be a spot available.
What are we looking at here, boys?
Blood rule here. So just a pause in play to allow things to get settled. It's big Tommy Bennett who's going to come off the grounds.
It's a good point around assuming. We're saying that Petrarca could be out, but they do have the bye this week, the senior team. So, you know, and then they go on and after that they've got Melbourne. So whether Petrarca gets up for the Melbourne game, we wait and see. Early word was that it wasn't a severe hamstring, but if it is the traditional just 20-21 day, then he will miss that and return and gather around. So there could be a spot.
It's all very much open. Just waiting for someone to potentially walk through it. Whether that's Christian Petrarca or someone else remains to be seen. Noble sends it long inside 50. Waiting out the back there was Cooper Collins. Nice work from Ryan Ayres. His former coach, Jimmy Allen, highlighted his bravery in attacking the footy last year, and he certainly showed it there. Suns inside forward 50 here. Werribee on top in the game. Charging forward at the footy was Swallow. Drag to a stop, Newton. Scoring is slowed down. 2 goals in the opening term for both of them. Each had 5 at half-time. 18 minutes into this third term, they've each only kicked 1 goal. Here's Heathcote stepping through, showing a little bit of trickery as he kicks to centre-half forward, and then he's potted the 8 ball. And he's kicked it straight back to the Bees. Collision of bodies in the middle of the ground. Tullio just tried to toe poke it forward and just kept on working. Eventually got the opportunity, rolled it back toward goal. Closing quickly is Razzo. Desperate defence. Oscar Adams sees it through.
Oh, if he just had a release by hand, pick up, he did the quick kick, open goal square, but the release by hand would have caused an overlap. They would have been able to stroll in Werribee on that occasion.
That's that one, that last bit of composure.
Here's Heathcote again, inside the defensive 50.
Oh, well done.
Local boy, 19-year-old. Kick was smothered. Tullio applying the pressure and winning it back for the Bees. Donegan lays a good tackle and rewarded. No, in fact, it is going to be just a ball up. Let's go down to Tom.
Yeah, you can see a clear intent here from Werribee to try and kick their way through the Gold Coast Suns. I'll go back up to you.
Riding has a flying shot, trying to send it forward. Right beautifully by Razzo. And he's on the board for the first time as a member of this Werribee side.
Yeah, you're right, Tom, in terms of what Werribee are trying to do. It's a good pickup as well. And trying to just use their feet, break the squeeze that Gold Coast are trying to provide here and produce from a defensive point of view. It's just a good contest, good position.
Yeah. Great stoppage work too, just bursting through the front. They went with a dangerous attacking hit and managed to find some space.
Here's a live wire up there, Massimo Razzo. Werribee by 10. His first after kicking 26 goals, 10 last year for Richmond. He was a finalist in the Fothergill Round medal. Back at the restart, Lazaro stepping clear. He tried to get it away to Razzo, who had no idea it was coming. So just trying to build their connection, those two, early in this new season. Now Lazaro takes matters into his own hands, kicks inside the 50. Stepping through was Tullio, crafty bit of work. Patterson's under pressure, and look at him just arch the back and cruise away. A bounce outside the defensive 50.
Oh, how
far's he gone?
Jeez.
He ran all the way to Brisbane.
Well, that's it. But Werribee would want to get this back. Tom, Werribee would want to get this back quickly, because you're right with their kicking game, catching Gold Coast off guard here.
Yeah, they need to go a little bit run and gun, just like the Suns did then. The Gold Coast Suns set up really well behind the footy defensively, so if they can get a play on like they have here, overlap inside 50, great ball movement from Werribee.
Here we see it again. Call out from Tom Rockcliffe. And it'll be Riding, who's marked in the pocket, thought about going on over the top. And he's going to take matters into his own hands. 10 goals, 13 last season. Played half forward in their premiership team before playing more midfield, and as Jono said, trained with the Hawks in the pre-season. So he comes into this campaign with some really good form. Strikes it from just inside the 50. And he pushes that lead to 11. Got the game on their terms at the moment, Werribee. Patterson makes the skill error. Terrific mark from Dalhouse. The desperation. And he pulls it in. And he's taken Cooper Bell with him.
That was a big contest. Big mark from Dalhouse.
He hit it with speed, far out.
Off only a couple of steps as well. He was giving away a fair bit of size to Cooper Bell, who stands just under 2 metres tall. Take another look at it. Oof. Just an awkward one, and then the landing.
Lands on his head as well, unfortunately. Just the sort of the side of the arm with the elbow looked like it might have clipped him on the chin.
Gave him the old double whammy
on
the way up and the way down.
That's right. So I hope he's okay, young man.
So Cooper Bell hasn't moved since that contact. So they'll huddle up here. It will be Jay Dalhouse who'll have it just inside the 50. There you see leading disposal winners in the game. So many of them in Suns colours, led by Holman. They've dominated possession, but Werribee have been the more effective and efficient team.
So both teams just huddling up now.
It's always an interesting moment in the game when this happens as well. Werribee have had all the momentum in the last 10 minutes or so. The game's been played on their terms. So you sort of think, does it come at a good time for the Suns, in a way, just to get a bit of a break in the game and reassess where it's at?
Yeah, they can be real pivotal moments in games, these ones, where the momentum just can be stemmed for Gold Coast at this point. So I think, honestly, if you can capitalise on these ones, keep your mind sharp and make sure you stay switched on to come out in this first little block after they come back from this. Really important part of the game.
That's right. Werribee may be trying to set something up here as well, because Dalhouse will be sort of launching from about 50. So they may look to set something up. He may have a crack and kick the goal and build momentum instantly.
Good to see Cooper Bell back on his feet and walking off the ground.
Yeah.
So hopefully he is okay. Big fella out of contract at the end of the season for the Suns and trying to work his way into a little bit more opportunity. That's what's still to come as part of Sunday Ticket. Live on Fox Footy, Port Adelaide Essendon from the Adelaide Oval. West Coast North Melbourne in the west, and then bounce and first crack to round out this weekend of footy.
Good way to finish.
Absolutely it is. Cooper Bell making his way off the fields. Hopefully, Gazy's sorted out some of his confusion with the ladder from last week. Get it sorted, Andrew. On the flight home from Sydney today, we'll have had plenty of time to assess things, I would have hoped. Who knows, North Melbourne could be in that top four. It could really throw him a curveball a little bit later on this evening. So Cooper Bell making his way off. We're back underway. Jay Dalhouse waited all that time to turn it over.
That would have been discussed surely within the plane group. This is exactly what I'm going to do.
Yep.
Just make sure someone's there.
20th intercept mark for the Suns. For all their good work, they haven't been able to make it count going back the other way. Goulburn's been busy. Corman got thrown off it by Nick Holman. And now AJ wants to have a word to him. There wouldn't be many scraps Nick Holman would back away from.
No, that's it.
I think if he was getting some good advice, he might just be said, I wouldn't be messing with big AJ, Nick.
Wouldn't have thought. I reckon, boys, we might have seen a little run with go to Holman now as well. We've got Basudal sort of checking him closely around stoppage the last few.
Certainly making his presence felt there. Cousins did some nice work with his body. Kicks inside the 50, and that's a terrific mark from Adams. Going back with some real intent. He sent it out wide, and Heathcote dropped what he should have taken. Immediate pressure came, and the Suns will handball their way through it and navigate their way inside the 50. Ugle-Hagan got caught at the back. Ayres standing in front. Walter couldn't clean it up. They'll neatly come out through Cousins. Clark kicked an impressive goal in that second term. In fact, Smith it was, who sends it wide. And it'll be thrown in right in front of the interchange. Charlson, just the one behind from his 7 disposals so far. He'll be a live wire up front with Razzo. It'll be a fun combination inside forward 50 this season. He's into it off the footy as well. Simpson kicks inside forward 50. Dalhouse let it get out the back. Graham mopped it up. Nervous moment now. Chance goes big for Eastham. Graham might have been taken high there, coming over the top by Lockie Charlson. It's going to be a free kick.
Oh, they're happy about it as well.
The goal sneak wrapped him up and was rewarded. Just as we said, he hadn't impacted the scoreboard in a major way. He gets his opportunity.
Yeah, there's a little bit going on with himself and Patterson, so I think that's why he was excited with his own individual effort then.
Yeah, you love that when there's a bit of niggle going on.
You got to finish the work now. You can be up and about. Look, he's loving it, smiling and enjoying the contest.
28 goals from 31 games for the Maggies in the SANFL over the last couple of seasons. The East Point product from Ballarat. Kicked 4 against Footscray in a practice match a couple of weeks ago. This would give them a 17-point lead, closing in on three-quarter time. He can't finish off his good work. 7-14. That's 2 goals 4 in the quarter after they kicked 3 goals 5 in the second term. Dan Lowther would be hoping that it doesn't come back to bite his team. Oh, Jepson played on.
He was.
And Riding picked him off.
Well, that's inside the protected zone.
Thought. Okay.
Elliott, the beneficiary of the kick. And so Will Elliott with 2 to his name already. He can line them up from just inside the arc. They had to get it inside 50 one way or another, whether it was for the 50 metres for Riding that he wasn't paid or a mark off the kick. Riding might have given one to Holman, and it's still on just at the far left of your screen there as well. Here's Will Elliott looking for his 3rd. He misses to the near side.
There's a bit going on now between the two teams. A lot of verbal, a lot of push and shove.
Bit happening, which we don't mind. It's a great contest so far. Werribee really taking ascendancy though, so pivotal last part of this quarter for Gold Coast.
Yeah, you're right. They don't want to concede one now. Gold Coast Suns, 30 minutes about to tick over.
We know how dangerous this Suns team can be in transition. We've seen it a couple of times today. There is Holman, and Soodle's got the close checking job on him. Moyle rushes across to the wing, and Sam Assey's a little bit sore as he limps his way back into defence. Another one of their North Albury products. Strong connection to that part of the world. Don Brew, another who grew up and plied his trade in that part of the world. It's an absolute sack from the boundary umpire on the way back in. That was not flying as intended.
It's a real floater.
Yeah. It's not often you see the boundary umpires just deliver a mung back in the field of play. That's not on my bingo card. You get the odd floater off the instep and that kind of thing. I'm not sure if it came off the thumb or the pinky or whatever that was, as Lazaro sees it out of play.
Well, another opportunity here.
Here we
see what
go.
this one's like.
This is sort of the real litmus test here. Coleman and Moyle, and Moyle looks like he's a bit sore at the moment too.
Yeah, he's struggling, Moyle.
As is the boundary umpire at the moment. That one fell well short. Coming through was Smith, got crunched. You see Moyle just over there, and the last thing he needed was for someone to run into him. He just wants to be left to his own devices at the moment and regain his bearings, Big Ned. Holman around the body. Now they can build something going forward. Sexton, he just sold Lockie Cramp into trouble. No reward for the tackle for Werribee. Punched inside the arc by Jepson. Not locked up in the end. Werribee will be able to exit. Lazaro, did he get a hand to it? It is a lasso free kick. Ned Moyle, he's going to come off the ground. Dogs in a bit of bother at the moment. Holman for disposal number 30. Closing in on three-quarter time. What's he got up ahead of the footy? Walter crashes the pack at a rate of knots. Goulburn swings it across the face. Can he get a mark? He can! Taken by Tommy Bennett.
This is huge, Tommy Bennett. Huge kick for your team.
Walter hit that pack with a bit of juice, didn't he?
That was fierce.
Yeah.
He hasn't had too many contests in this quarter, so he made the most of that one.
Certainly did.
Tommy Bennett, young Tasmanian, talented athlete. Dad was an Australian representative sprinter and an under-20 200 metres national champion.
Love that. Love him athletics. That's good.
Good going.
What can he deliver here? 15 disposals thus far. This is his most important kick, and he's let himself down. That would have been important going into three-quarter time. Sam Azzi, who we saw not moving all that freely.
He's already got the strapping on that leg as well.
He might have sustained a corky earlier on. Well, an important term for Werribee. They were able to capitalise on the scoreboard and most importantly slow the Gold Coast down. And it is the visitors who lead by 2 goals, closing in all that three-quarter time here. Tempers starting to fray. There's a bit of feeling in it at People First Stadium. And Werribee holding sway at the moment. Plenty to play for between these two teams as we start this final term. Kobe Colson kicked a good goal to start that quarter. Caleb Graham's been dominating in the air. From about the 10-minute mark on, it was all Werribee. And it is the Bees who lead by 2 goals as we start this final term. Round 1 in the VFL. Sunday ticket here on Fox Footy. Joel Peterson, Brad Johnson, Dyson Heppel and Tom Rockcliffe with you. It was the end to that quarter, Dice, absolutely dominated by the visitors.
Yeah, absolutely. No, they certainly took control at the back half of that quarter and, made it really challenging for Gold Coast to get any forward momentum. So, dominated time in forward half and got themselves some great looks.
Had an opportunity to get one right on the 3/4 time siren. Gold Coast through Tommy Bennett. It was a good passage of play. He was on the end of it, but unfortunately missed that opportunity. Would have been great momentum because there's been a little bit of feeling creep into this game between both teams.
Yeah, certainly a bit of sizzle in it. Bit of lit, bit of push and shove. We don't mind it.
Temper starting to flare between them. Just the 1 goal between Ugle Hagen and Jed Walter up front so far in the game. Jed Walter kicked that in the opening term for the Gold Coast Suns, so they didn't see a lot of football in their area in that 3rd quarter. They'll be hoping to try and gain some ascendancy with the footy going forward here at the end of the game. Let's check in with Werribee. Their first game coach is Dan Lowther. He's with Tom Rockcliffe.
Dan, super impressive first 3 quarters. The footy, when it's in your front half, it's really hard for the opposition to get out. What was the message to the boys at 3/4 time?
Yeah, just having more patience and control to make sure we get those deep entries. The smalls are going to work really well and fighting their ball release, which has been good. So patience and we're getting outmarked a fair bit too, so it's making sure the ball comes to ground.
Good luck in this last quarter.
Thanks very much, Tom.
He'll be an assistant with the Big V this season. Will Dan Lowther. Love what he's seeing from his team.
And that's Graham he's talking about from Gold Coast. You've got to get the ball to ground. That's the direct matchup that he'd like to see lift in regards to getting it to ground, not being outmarked as your key forward.
See young Donegan standing next to Nick Holman. Wonder whether that's trying to fight fire with fire here. A feisty customer going up against Nick Holman in this final term. Holman's had 30 disposals, 5 score involvements.
We'll see what they do there. Bisuto did a great job at the back half of that quarter on him, so see how it plays out.
So Qualman down decisively to start this final term. The Bees up by 2 goals, both teams inaccurate throughout the course of the contest. Lazaro to Smith, Bruce able to free his arms, get his kick away, up toward half forward, Riding trapped it neatly. Around the body, it's the entry into the pocket there off the boot of Charlson, and it's smashed away.
Jed Walter getting an opportunity too in the middle of the ground to start this final term.
I don't mind that either. He's got some explosiveness too, so big body around the ball.
Saw him absolutely run through a pack at the end of that 3rd term. Some more textbook spinning boundary throw in by the umpire in that pocket. Chasing after it, Donegan. He's been good on debut for the Bees. That's a really neat little kick from Patterson. Lofted it into the path of Farah. He combines now with Colson. Colson drives it inside the 50. Jamara's on the end of it. He's waited all day for delivery like that, and finally he's dragged one in. Wanted to offload, and the kick was at the feet.
It was the right option.
Yep.
The space was there. It was a good lead.
Made it difficult for Evans. He couldn't trap it. Werribee take possession again. Cousins off half-back got upended after he released the kick.
No, that hurts. Jamara didn't have to laser that one. He had a nice little tick lead happening. He just put it out in front, but see what Werribee can do on the back of this.
That might only add to the tension that we're seeing in this game. Lazaro inside the arc. It's a really strong mark from Klisevsky.
Yeah, don't get outmarked.
That's the one.
That's the call from the coach with Tommy Rockcliffe at 3/4 time.
Two behind so far. Just under 2 metres tall. Showing us some good signs. Will Klisevsky.
Good size run up here.
Geez, yeah, true that. He's in
Ben Brown territory.
Wowee. A couple of rows back.
Long approach. No stranger to the black and gold Ben Brown
right.
over the years.
Spot on.
Might have borrowed a thing or two from him. That's a beautiful looking kick. He just draws and strikes that goalpost flush.
Yep. Love Benny Brown. I love pods in Werribee colours coming through as well. Must give my cousin a rap, Tegan Henderson, as well. He was the star for the Bees.
So another let off. 7-16 now for Werribee. They've generated some really good opportunities. Hopefully their inaccuracy doesn't come back to haunt them. Graham up the wing. Noble latches onto it. Feeds it wide for Sexton, who kicked a beauty in the second quarter. He just measured the pass nicely for Goulburn, who's been impressive. Just about the easiest touch Nick Holman's had all day. Chest mark on the edge of the arc. Kicked slews off the side of the boot. Rising over the top was Pinnock. Got a fist to it, brought it down. Donegan's over the top of the pack. He and Evans fighting for it. Neither can wrench it clear. Territory battle pretty even. Werribee +3 in terms of inside 50s. Ugle-Hagan comes steaming through the pack, tries to get boot to ball. Donegan out to Newton. Lovely delivery. He just put it into the path of Pinnock, who kicked a really important goal in that third quarter for Werribee. One of their mainstays. Overcooked the pass back into the corridor. He allowed Jepson to come in. Holman, forward hand pass. They're lining up. Streaming into goal is Goulburn. Another one for Lockie Goulburn. 2 to his name. And it's really a what could be day with that door open at selection.
Really important part of the game here. And Gold Coast have done really well to capitalise there. Yeah, just that kicking efficiency again. Coming out of the back half, it's just hurt him a couple of times, and Gold Coast have done really well here to capitalise on that. Goulburn's been really lively, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got good speed in his game.
Yep.
So, yeah, you're right. He certainly continues to put his hands up for senior selection. Holman was a tired handball inside 450. Yeah. Well, he's racked them up today. He's had 21 handballs, so you can excuse him for one. It still worked out pretty well in the end.
Dylan Patterson's given them plenty of bounce as well. 26 disposals for the 5th pick in the draft last year. He's been cruising up and down a wing all day, coming off half back.
Yeah, now Patterson can certainly move. He's got some serious wheels.
Some real toe and elite athlete.
It's a good build up this by Werribee.
Yep.
And can they get the finishing touches here? Jordan Basudal from long range misses.
They did well to identify that, and every player had pushed back deep thinking a long ball was going in.
Smart.
Hit 2 shorts up and another shot at goal, but 7-17 on the day for Werribee.
Suns had sniffed the opportunity when they get their chance with the momentum. Nice work from Simpson to spoil it out of play. VFL debut. Tom Simpson, he's acquitted himself nicely. Moyle back out there, still not moving maybe as freely as he'd like. Controlled that one down, gang tackle. A couple of experienced Suns players in Sexton and Swallow.
Yeah, great to see Swallow still chipping away after retiring last year. And
what a fairy tale finish it was.
Amazing.
Incredible behind in the elimination final against Fremantle. Heart and soul player for the Suns over such a long period of time.
Oh, he set a huge example for them for a long period of time. His work rate on and off the field,
yeah,
I might add as well.
Yeah, an amazing leader, and as we spoke about before, just pivotal for these young Gold Coast guys to have blokes like Dave Swallow around and to show them the ropes and have some real maturity around.
He was there through thick and thin over his time, that's for sure. Great to see him rewarded at the end of his career with a role on the final stage. Jepson and Colson tried to combine to clear it for the Suns. It's going to be a free kick to Simpson. Kellett from the centre circles, inside the 50. Going up was Graham. He knocked it down, but might have come up sore in the aftermath. And then taken high was Cousins. 8-point Werribee lead. 8 minutes played in this final term. Sunday Ticket on Fox continues. We'll be sending you to the Adelaide Oval for Essendon and Port Adelaide when we're done here. Cousins inside forward 50. Nice bit of roving from Donegan. And Sam Donegan puts Werribee 14 points to the good.
Gee, it's a beautiful bit of roving this, right at the full of the ball, and nearly a one-handed take. Great little step and finish.
Had power on the kick as well, I think, which allowed it to sort of get through the hands. Yeah, good penetration inside forward 50. You're right at the back of the pack.
Oh, there, yeah, great take. Clean, great finish.
Yeah, his direct opponent was caught in the contest, and that's why it was important for Elliott to come back with the flight of the ball.
Yeah, penetrating entry. Just cleared that congestion. 30 or 40 out, and great little finish.
14 disposals, 7 clearances, 6 tackles and a goal. So a very handy debut from Sam Donegan. Played a bit of footy in the off-season up in the NTFL with Palmerston. He comes in with some good juice in the tank. He's acquitted himself nicely. Werribee finally take advantage on the scoreboard after 5 consecutive behinds either side of three-quarter time. Swallow gets dragged down. Lazaro with the opportunity. It was Donegan in on the tackle. Lazaro's kick inside the 50. Dullhouse was there, trying to find Charleston by hand. Oscar Adams cleans things up for the Suns. Exits neatly to Walter. Jepson. The overlap run came from Sexton. Here's Lockie Cramp at right half forward. Steps back inside. Kick inside the 50, just floated over the head of his intended target in Colson. Walter almost pinched it back. Here's Donegan at half-back now, ran into Walter. Not a position you want to be in.
That's great effort from Walter. You can see him completely through that whole passage in the screen.
Big Jed put the clamps on. Kick to the pocket, looking for Ugle-Hagan. Fisted away by Ryan Ayres. We'll have it thrown back in. Gives us an opportunity to check in with Tom Rockcliffe.
Concussion, more so around the neck, so he's done for the day. He won't be back out there for the Gold Coast Suns.
Thanks, Tom. Werribee by 14 points. Suns down some numbers, just hacked off the deck by Sexton. It was inventive. Is it effective? And Cousins couldn't believe the decision.
Neither could the crowd.
Yeah, wasn't Avi. Yeah, creative from Sexton there. He probably could have just burst through and grabbed the ball, but it's worked out okay.
So we might have missed the start of Tom's cross there with Cooper Bell, who we saw go off in that late in the third quarter. He's done with those concussion symptoms, but good to see him get off the ground under his own steam. And here's Zach Evans, who's had a couple of opportunities in front of the sticks. He's missed both of them. Can he straighten up here at an important time?
Well done.
Evans delivers what they need.
Well, keeps him in touch, Dyson. So it's an important kick for Evans. And you're right in regards to, well, we just missed the start of what Sexton did in regards. He could have just burst through, taken it, stepped and goaled himself. He's got the class to do that, but just got the ball inside 450, chaos ball, and it worked out well.
Yeah, no doubt. No, Gold Coast certainly just keeping themselves in touch here.
Might have been watching the Matildas last night.
Yes.
Alex Sexton, and unfortunately, the Australians going down to Japan.
Yep.
Be the only one who's been inspired by what the Tillies have done in recent times. Leshevsky getting a run in the ruck now. So both backup rucks in there with the big fella Noble there for the Suns. They enter the 50 and it's rushed back out of there. Pavlidis kicks to the wing. Toe poked out of the hands of Patterson. Picked up by Tullio, had a flying shot. Got plenty of purchase on it. Not The required accuracy, 8-18 now the Bees.
Open goal square, probably could have taken a couple more steps then.
Yep.
If you're going to launch that one, just take the extra steady to get yourself in the position to hit the goal square.
Patterson flew against Tullio, riding. Bit of holding there, in fact. High contact, and that's not a good sign with Patterson a little bit sore, getting to his feet. He's been important for the Suns. Elliott, second bite of the cherry. That's a strong mark at full forward.
Yeah, a few players starting to cramp up now.
Starting to lock up here, boys.
Might
yeah.
see the pickle juice start to flow.
Will Elliott has had a nice debut here for Werribee. 2 goals, 1 thus far. This to push that margin to 15 points. Comes around, finishes in style, and Will Elliott has 3.
Strong contested mark from Elliott there. Pure jump. He did well. He didn't get the first. He got the first grab on it, but he would have liked to take that in one grab, considering the advantage he had on his direct opponent with that, but was good enough to clean it up and still take the mark.
Yeah, he's certainly been a big presence today.
Yeah, he has, Dyson. Good call. He was a composed finish as well. Took his time, didn't rush. You can see there fatigue. He had a little cramp after the mark as well, so that's probably why he had to take a little bit more time over it.
Yeah, see a few boys absolutely gassed at the moment.
Seen, of course, Dylan Patterson go down with injury as well, so hopefully he'll be okay. 27 disposals in his first action for this side.
That's another cramp.
Here we go.
The draft
Hang in there, lads.
Yeah, you'd see him start trying Werribee here in particular, maybe start taking some time off the clock, just chip it around, save the legs for just a couple of minutes. You can't finish the game here and just be slow for the next 15 minutes, but just take a little bit of time.
Jesse Clark had cramp in his legs, and he had cramp on the mark there as well for the Suns. Here he is again. Lockie's nowhere to be seen this time. Jesse's moving a little bit more freely. They ride themselves, those ones. Cousins out wide, riding, pops it on over the top. Neat kick to Smith. Riding comes cruising past. Beautiful little pickup at half forward by Dalhouse. What about the craft there? Then the give and go. The centering kick. Tullio from the back. Elliott slapped it down. Brew around the body. Not that time.
Crafty from Dalhouse. Really clean at ground level.
The 16-point lead is the biggest that Werribee's had in the game. It feels like it's never really gotten out of hand for either side. And that the Suns could still be close enough, if good enough here. Lightning transition. Swallow inside the 50. Ayres and Ugle-Hagan get locked up again. Chasing it to the pocket there was Pavlidis, who didn't really want to keep it in.
It's a little bit of survival of the fittest here. So you're right with the Suns. Obviously, their home ground, their conditions. So, we're still roughly 14, 15 minutes to go in this final term. If they can get some open play, like we just witnessed them, but able to hit up their direct teammates inside forward 50, it's still open for them.
Swallow to Walter. He handballs it forward. Goulburn with another opportunity, tight in the pocket. Hooks it back toward the teeth of goal, and Clark stands in the road. He's locking up again. I would say who's got the fuel in the tank, Jono, but with the price of petrol at the moment, I don't think we want to go down that road.
We don't at all.
We might have to find another analogy.
Yeah, let's just stick to the footy.
That one's a little bit too expensive. Lazaro at halfback. Charlson, he sliced that one well wide.
Really seeing this just execution under fatigue now. It becomes really important for whichever team can just execute better at the back half of this quarter now.
Evans infield. The Suns trying to work their way through.
Werribee have just got all their numbers back defensively, flooding their D50.
So where do they go? What can they find? Collins moves it on with some intent. He kicks to an out number. Noble was the biggest in the pack. Chasing it down there was Bennett. Now back to Evans, off a step to the teeth of goal. Rising up, trying to mark, couldn't take it in there. Walter at the back. And he was forced over by Brew, only a minor score.
The opportunities are going to come off repeat entries. That's the key here. Werribee all their numbers back, they will dump kick out at different stages. Gold Coast, if they can get that second or third inside 50 right, there's their opportunities to try and catch Werribee off guard with the way they are setting up defensively now.
Yeah, that's the one. Just can't blaze away every time. Just try and lower the ice if they can.
Bit of a Mario Kart.
Looked like the sort of the Bowser shell type setup.
Yeah, it was just the shell that really knocks you about.
Yeah, maybe just trying to go right up the middle and just clear everyone out of the way.
The red shell.
What do we give us?
You've got to be right at the back of the pack to get one of those though.
No, you want
the race isn't panning out in your direction if
you
you're
want
getting
the
there.
bullet. You always get the bullet if you're at the back of the you're at the back of the pack.
Just straight up the corridor and get out of the way. Launching it back in there is Eastham. Ugle-Hagan knocked it off the bonce of Ayres. Cousins, he has a go. Holman, ricocheted. That come off the boot there of Bennett. It might have bounced just on the line before it went out.
Yeah, they have to be crafty and smart here, Gold Coast. Difficult to work in these circumstances when the opposition have just got numbers everywhere defensively.
Coleman coming over the top there of Noble. Big AJ got a rise. Couldn't knock it away effectively. Razzo in defence. Smith had a play, so too Tullio. Back in Gold Coast hands. Noble feeds the handball forward. Cousins couldn't take it with him. Picked up by Holman. Off to Jepson. Gets himself free. Now Goulburn. He almost missed his boot. It cleared Tullio. Spinning through Swallow. He rushes the left foot kick forward. It's out of bounds on the full.
They're getting the looks though here, Gold Coast. Have they got the ability to score?
His tired legs and tired minds at the moment.
Often that shot comes from 45 to 50 in these circumstances as well. Oppo flood back and you get caught at the adrenaline of just wanting to get it in deep. Sometimes it's best to hit up someone at 45, 50. Long shot.
Yeah, that is the one. And particularly from these here, another cramp here for the boys.
That's a bad one too.
Yeah.
Oscar Adams that time. 23rd intercept mark for the Suns.
Yeah, they find a little connecting kick here is what they need.
That's
Can't
right.
blaze away.
Yeah, just bombing is not going to work. That's one.
Nice.
And it's Holman, the irrepressible. He has been absolutely indefatigable in this game thus far. Oscar Adams has gone down to the turf on the outer side. Ugle-Hagan's a chance, almost pulled it in. Swallow to Jamara from the pocket. Straight up and down the mine shaft. Sit under that. Cousins dribbles one back into a dangerous spot. Riding the bump there was Newton. Gave it away to Holman. Bennett clearing the path is Evans.
That was the opportunity.
Finish.
That was the one. Free kick, free shot at goal, I should say.
So Ugle-Hagan has been close, but we got to give our props to Ayres. He's competed very well all day. Some big one-on-one contests.
He's a talented player, Ryan Ayres. Anyone who plays interleague for the O&M is generally going about their business in an okay way, and he did that as a youngster. Elliott crashed the pack, trying to pull it in for the Bees. Suns will take possession again. Cooper Collins back inside the arc. Farah flew. Swallow was there at ground level. And then a kick went amiss from Evans, and it's picked off by Newton. And he turns it straight over to Walter.
Use those re-entries, Jono, that we're talking about. What
That's right. They've got the players deep, looking for a long one here.
Noble and Ugle-Hagan in the square. Farah with a lead to the pocket. Walter kicks to a central spot. Jamara came from way back. Donegan, he exits. Walter almost pulled it in again. Eventually he does gather it up. Colson infield. Eastham back to Colson. Another almost moment for Ugle-Hagan. Sexton lays the tackle.
Well held up by Werribee here. 15 inside 50s to 9 in this last term. So they are doing a good job defensively to hold up Gold Coast.
Oscar Adams has now made his way to the bench. So they need some more defensive support, the Suns. At the moment, it's Werribee who need a bit of a defensive outlet. Pavlidis kicks it straight back to Graham for another intercept mark.
Jeez.
8 in the game for Caleb Graham. That's extraordinary.
That's good going.
Charleston off half-back. Finds a cool head in Dom Brew. Werribee by 15 points. Suns with just the 1 goal in this quarter so far. Werribee kicked 2 in 5 minutes to take the ascendancy in the ball game in a meaningful way. Essendon Port Adelaide coming up as part of Sunday Ticket here on Fox Footy. We'll be sending you there at the conclusion of this one. West Coast, North Melbourne, bounce and first crack to close out your Sunday. Dylan Patterson, the top 5 pick, going down with injury in this last term. As Simpson comes away, it is a beautiful bit of delivery. Will Elliott's on the end of another.
Yeah, great cross the body kick coming out the back of the stoppage there and just allowed Elliott to peel onto it.
That's the key there, Dyson, is, and Tom identified this earlier in regards to the clearance dominance for Werribee.
Elliott around the body. That's very narrow.
Yeah, he's missed that one, but they got a pure shot from it. 36 to 20, they're leading clearances in this game.
Huge.
Plus 16's massive. And they were nearly able to score from that. Throughout the afternoon, a lot of the scores have been based off turnover.
Ball brought back into play. Great pressure. And a bit of a moment there. An opportunity. And it'll be Massimo Razzo who's earned it back.
Good tackle. 1 goal 3 today.
Goes from long range and misses everything.
That's the last 2 shots for Werribee out of bounds on the full. Well, I know what they'll be working on throughout the week, that's for sure.
I'll tell you what, though, in terms of defending the ground, you'd probably rather put him in this pocket rather than allow him to kick out.
Yeah,
so
good point.
Not a bad result.
They build something here, the Suns. They are running out of time. Bennett not running out of endeavour. Great to see Patterson back out there. Links up with another top 5 pick in Walter. And then Farah gets spun across by Dom Brew. Sam Azai out of the action for Werribee as well. We saw him come off in that 3rd term and he won't return. There's Patterson who's made his way back off the ground. So there's ailing Dylan Patterson is persistent. Coleman, Holman burrowed himself after the football again. 35 disposals for Nick Holman. He's been immense. Graham tangled up with Elliott, who's been the big target, the focal point down there for Werribee. 3 goals, 1 to his name. You see the 67 tackles throughout this game, plus 17 in clearances as well for Werribee. Despite that intercept dominance of the Gold Coast, it has been Werribee in this second half who've had most of the control.
It's been quite a mature last 10 minutes for Werribee to really just bunker down and had a number of inside 50s against them, and now they've managed to slow the game down, kick to contest. Really
Spot on. Yeah, we were talking about that at the 16-minute mark of the quarter, weren't we, in regards to what Gold Coast were trying to do with all the repeat entries.
There's Collins with a bit of dash through the centre. Gets on the left, sent it toward Ugle-Hagan. Kick was misdirected. Jamara never stood a chance of that one. And Ryan Ayres, who's been very good back there.
But he's definitely stuck to his task, hasn't he, throughout the day. He's played well.
He's got the length and the athleticism to go with someone like Ugle-Hagan. Coming in at 197, so he's an impressive size. He's Avery Thomas, who'll have a couple of highlights throughout the season, no doubt. Colson couldn't take it with him. Cousins, handball back into traffic. Basudal got picked off by Jepson. And bobbles back to Brew. He clears the area, but not for long. Thomas back inside. And now even Lockie Goulburn's cramping up.
That's a bad one too. You can see the cramp in his right calf. You think, how is he going to launch this?
Yeah, it's going to take a bit. Here we go.
He's just saying there's no fitness concerns with me. I'll be right, coach, whatever you need me to do in the next couple of weeks. He cramped up after he kicked it, and the result shows in the end.
Yeah, I think that had that written all over it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Far out. He's hurting.
Of course, there might be a spot for him in a couple of weeks' time. Ben Jepson's had 27 for the Suns as well. Patterson with his 29. On the wing and half back, all impressive as AFL-aligned players. And Nick Holman with 35 has been powerful. Charlie Lazaro with a team-high 28 for the Bees. Lead by 15 points. Been most of the home sides who've got the wins so far in this first round of VFL action. Werribee's going to buck the trend in that regard. Every game yesterday went the way of the home team. Two of the three on Friday as well. Walter at the stoppage. Holman. Jepson left it behind. Brew's been important in this last quarter. Clears the area. Donegan sprints after it. He's got a foot race on with Heathcote. Heathcote was first back there. He and Collins, a couple of their youngsters, work it out. Now Thomas, cramp comes away with it at the end. And Werribee produce a really solid second half and get on the board under Dan Lowther for the first time, winning by 15 points on the road. An impressive win on the Gold Coast to start their season.
Yeah, great win by Werribee. Werribee, tough conditions away from home. You can see the passion on the final siren, the celebration, and what all the work you put into to get this first victory for the year. Really impressive, and as you said, Dyson, mature last term as well with the way that they were structured up and had to execute.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, as you say, like, really important win for them. Getting on the road, round one, get you up and about to kick off your campaign nicely. And, yeah, it was a mature outfit from them today. I thought they built into the game nicely and, you know, managed to get on top midway through that third quarter and managed to just hold that nice little lead for the back end of the game.
Three of the standalone teams in their next four for Werribee, with Sandy up next, and then they've got Geelong, the Dollies, and the Seagulls for the Gold Coast Suns. Of course, they've got the AFL bye next week. They've got Southport, Essendon, and St Kilda on the road in their near future. And plenty to like from an individual perspective for the Suns. There's the results across the course of the weekend. Big wins to the Hawks, the Cats behind a big performance from Ollie Henry. He kicked 5. That game in progress. The Borough are going okay at the moment as well. So good fun, Jono and Dice. Thanks both for your company. Nice debut from you, Dice, as well.
Wow, awesome. Well done, Dice.
No, enjoyed it, lads. Thanks for having me on here.
We will have you back, no doubt about that. Thanks for your company across the weekend here in the VFL on Fox Footy. Stay tuned. Plenty more coming your way. Double header of AFL footy. Essendon and Port Adelaide is coming up on the Sunday ticket from the Adelaide Oval.
It's been a tough start to the 2026 AFL season for Port Adelaide and Essendon. First up losses, and each team's best player, Zach, continue to be huge talking points. But the good news is that winning feeling is just around the corner for one of these teams. Good afternoon and welcome to the Sunday Ticket live on Fox Footy, and it's a very good afternoon and welcome to the team for the first time on commentary debut, former Port Adelaide coach Ken Hinkley. Welcome.
Thanks, Cal. It's an interesting day for me to be here at a Port Adelaide game as someone in the media.
And the man standing next to you, your successor, the brand new Port Adelaide coach, Josh Carr. Welcome. I don't know, gents, who's more nervous out of the two of you?
Probably me, I reckon. Probably me, Josh. It's first time on the camera. It's not a great head for camera.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about today.
Yeah, first home game.
Obviously first time at home and in front of our crowd, so looking forward to it.
Now, this man warmed your coaching seat for a little while. Tell us, what's the difference between stepping up to the hot seat?
Well, I guess it falls on you as the coach. You know, you have a result like we did last week, then you've got to front up to the media and I guess show strength, but also